For Mike Scott, I'm David Stewart. Clouds today, an afternoon shower and a high of 47. A judge has denied bail for a suburban Elgin man accused of killing his mother and dumping her dismembered body in a Chicago lagoon. Brian Peck was charged yesterday with murdering Gail Peck. Elgin Police Chief Jeff Swoboda says they became suspicious of his story that the 76-year-old woman disappeared late last week.
Over the course of the next few days, detectives determined that Brian Peck was ultimately responsible for killing his mother and discarding her body, and that the remains found in the Chicago lagoon were that of Gail Peck.
Her remains were discovered Saturday in the Lincoln Park Lagoon on the north side. Brian Peck reportedly killed his mother because she complained he played his music too loud. Chicago police say there's no known threat to this city after yesterday's terror attack in New York. However, the police have heightened security in crowded areas out of an abundance of caution. Those areas are including the Mag Mile and Navy Pier. Victims' rights advocates accusing State Senator Ira Silverstein of sexual harassment. Denise Rothheimer claims the Chicago Democrat harassed her while they worked together on legislation.
He would have meetings with me because he liked to look at me. He thought I was pretty. He would tell me I'm intoxicating, I'm intimidating, I look like a movie star.
Rothheimer made the allegation yesterday at a House committee hearing in Chicago. Silverstein has apologized but denies any sexual harassment. Speculation continues to swirl around the death of Kenneka Jenkins after her mother and sister appeared on the Dr. Oz show. Dr. Oz and Nancy Grace questioned police investigation of the episode. They offered theories that the Chicago woman could have been drugged or kidnapped. Jenkins was found dead in a Rosemont Hotel freezer in September. Well, Governor Rauner isn't America's least favored governor, but he is in the bottom 5. Morning Consult released its list, and Rauner is the 5th least popular. The poll says 55% of Illinois voters disapprove of Rauner's job. Just 30% are happy with him. New Jersey's Chris Christie is the least popular. Just 18% of voters there think he's doing a good job. In sports, as you heard, Dodgers over the Astros 3-1 to force a Game 7 in the World Series. In the NBA, the Bulls are at the Miami Heat. The Hawks host the Philadelphia Flyers. The news is service of Staples. Staples helps get your business to create color presentations for less. Now get 20% back in Staples rewards on color copies, manuals, and presentations that are designed to impress. Staples, it's pro time. Offer ends November the 4th and exclusions apply, so go to staples.com/20color for more. AM 560 News Time 5:05. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your big, bulky CPAP device with you whenever you leave home? Yeah. Well, I was too. That's why I'm so glad I called to try the Transcend Mini CPAP for 10 nights. I can't imagine living without it now. My Transcend is smaller than a soda can and weighs less than a pound. That's less hassle to carry than my shaving kit. Plus, I was able to add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. But hey, that's not all. Transcend is FAA compliant too, which means I can finally sleep comfortably while flying. Heck, I can sleep comfortably anywhere now. So if that all sounds good to you, call now to give Transcend a try. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the life-changing freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. To receive your risk-free 10-night trial, call now. 1-800-400-8168. Again, that's 1-800-400-8168. 1-800-400-8168.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
For the very best in promotional products for your business.
For the latest promotional trends.
For attracting customers to your logo like a magnet.
For on-time delivery of high-quality items with your logo.
For personal service.
For Imprint, the nation's leading team to unleash your logo on your choice of thousands of promotional items. And right now, you can get a coupon for 10% off your next promotional order at For Imprint by texting the word PRO to 88988.
For empowering your logo at your next trade show.
For making a lasting impression.
For rewarding employees.
For free art assistance.
For making your logo shine.
The experts at 4imprint are ready to help.
For thousands of promotional items.
For popular brands.
For exclusive items.
For your 100% satisfaction.
4imprint.
For a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order, text PRO to 88988. That's a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order by texting PRO to 88988.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. According to creditcard.com, cardholders in Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan are carrying over $33,000 of debt on their credit cards. The Federal Reserve recently increased the interest rates 1/4 point, which, according to credit enhancement expert Gary Novell, will increase the average credit card holder's interest payments $825 a year. The good news is home values have rebounded, so now is an excellent time to use your home's equity to eliminate your stress, pay off credit card debt, and lower your monthly payments. To see if you can use your home's equity to pay off your debt, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. I've helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
At 5:09 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, let's say hello to Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, David. Near north side of Chicago, we have closures at Clark and Oak. This after a fatal crash. There's an ongoing investigation involving a car and a taxi cab. Clark Street is closed between Oak and Delaware. And actually, it's between Oak and Walton now. And there's a closure of Oak Street as well between LaSalle and State. Gary, northbound Clyde Avenue is blocked. 15th Avenue and 5th for a dump truck hit an overhead sign. The Edens is fine at this hour. No delays to report on Kennedy, the Eisenhower, the Stevenson Ride. There's still some road work on the outbound ride before the split. Tollways are looking good. No issues to report on I-80. Today, the roadway formerly known as the Elgin O'Hare 390 Tollway will be extended. The new eastern stretch will open between 290 and 83. It's scheduled to open at noon today as Thorndale becomes a frontage road in that area. No cash at the tollways on 390, just the open road tolling system. Traffic service of CC's. Want to taste the sauced and tossed flavored CC's wings on your pizza? Now you can. New wing-inspired pizzas, honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and buffalo chicken. Now on CC's buffet for just $5 and change. Prices may vary at participating locations for a limited time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next, but now the forecast, and here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, cloudy, breezy, and chilly with a shower in spots in the afternoon, high 47. Mostly cloudy with a shower around until after midnight tonight, low 44. Mostly cloudy and milder with a brief shower or two tomorrow, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 37 at the Lakefront, 37 at Midway, and 37 at O'Hare. Next news, 5:30. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, it's happened again. Another Islamist terrorist attack in Manhattan. I've seen the numbers vary on the injuries, but 8 dead, 13 injured.
Yeah, or now they're saying 2 were released, so 8 dead, 11 injured.
11 injured. Okay.
And most of them, 5 of them were from Argentina celebrating their 30-year high school reunion. So they're about my age. And then there's a man from Belgium who was also killed, and then the rest were Americans. It's awful. They haven't released their names yet.
Another one of these rent-a-truck, this time from Home Depot, plow into a crowd of people on a bike path along the Hudson River. That's what happened. The responsible party who was stopped by police when he tried to flee on foot, New York police officer Ryan Nash, shot him in the abdomen. He's expected to survive. As a 29-year-old Uzbeki national.
Are we going to say his name?
Well, I don't care
Safulo
about his name.
Sapao.
Well, apparently we're not.
Well, I'm sure I butchered it, but I really don't care. I don't care if I offend him this morning or any day.
He was waving a pellet gun and a paintball gun, shouting "Allahu Akbar" before he was stopped by that New York police officer.
And he also had a note in his car claiming his allegiance to ISIS.
Mm-hmm. And so this, of course, brought together the assembled representatives of the political class in New York City and New York State, de Blasio and Cuomo, to give the customary response. This is really the new normal for advocates of the new normal. Here's the Sandinista, as Larry Kudlow calls him, Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York.
We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us. We have been tested before as a city very near the site of today's tragedy, and New Yorkers do not give in the face of these kinds of actions.
Is that right? We haven't given in the face of radical Islamist terrorist attacks on American soil. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I'm with Mark Stein on this one. I think we have given in. Some of us have given in, not we. Some of us have given in when we decide that it's okay to import terrorists. That it's okay.
Yeah, well, he got a lotto to get a visa back in the late 90s.
It's diversity visa.
Yeah, a diversity visa. And what does he do as a way of saying thank you? He kills Americans, terrorizes tourists here visiting, and he chose, a bike path right near the World Trade Center, I think, to send a message, because he's a dum-dum, which thank God he is, because they had a Halloween parade where he could have done much more damage, killed many more lives, and he chose to do it near the World Trade Center.
The terrorist came here in 2010. He won the green card in the so-called diversity lottery to, have a broad cross-section of foreign nationals represented in terms of immigration.
Should we end the diversity lottery?
People emigrating to this country. So the question goes to the response that you get from politicians and whether or not this has changed us. Mark Stein writes about the bollardization of America. We put bollards everywhere. I guess yesterday on Fox, Geraldo was saying just that, talking about that and more background checking at when you try to go rent a car or a truck.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because we do need to play this. The New York City Terror Czar, he did mention that they have been going to Home Depot, to Menards, to other places where they rent trucks to people.
After ISIS, Rumiyah magazine came out with the issue just about 2 years ago, around this time of year, suggesting car attacks. You'll recall one of the targets they suggested was the Thanksgiving Day parade. We went and did extensive outreach to the truck rental business. We visited over 148 truck rental locations in this area, the obvious ones, U-Haul, Ryder, Home Depot, etc. and talked about suspicious indicators, ways to come forward. After attacks on the German Christmas market, after Nice, we repeated those visits 2 more times, either by making telephonic contact, email, or going back to the same places. So the industry has had a high level of awareness on this matter from the NYPD.
Yeah, but if you turn somebody down, that's discrimination, and then they'd have to fight possibly a lawsuit, don't you think?
Well, you're addressing a symptom, again, not a problem, not the fundamental problem in my view. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. Whether or not we have changed, some of us have given in by the policies that we have accepted, particularly with respect to immigration. Mark, just to borrow from Mark Stein, he talked about President Trump on the anniversary of 9/11, saying that terrorists are never again going to have a safe haven to launch attacks against our country. Of course, Trump in that speech was referring to Afghanistan. Stein goes on to write, the reason the West's enemies are able to pile up a continuous corpse count in Paris, Nice, Berlin, Brussels, London, Manchester, Copenhagen, Stockholm, Orlando, San Bernardino, Ottawa, Sydney, Barcelona, your town here, is because they have safe havens in France, Germany, Britain, Scandinavia, North America, etc. Which safe havens are likely to prove more consequential for the developed world in the years ahead? In Afghanistan? Or essentially the question is in places like Manhattan? That's the fundamental question, it seems to me. I mean, I appreciate what law enforcement is trying to do within the scope of their authority. I do. And that's fine to layer it on. But if you're going to import people with little concern for why they want to come here, or leave them to be here with little concern for why they want to be here if they came here illegally, then you're abrogating a responsibility to do what law enforcement does, the political classes, which is to serve and protect. Emphasis on protect. It's a complete abrogation of responsibility.
I'm just so mad. This monster drove on the bike path for more than a mile, ended up hitting a school bus where there's 2 adults and 2 kids on that bus, and they're injured. They're part of the 11 people who are lucky to be alive today.
Let's go to Ed in Oak Brook. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, just another tragedy, and just listening to the sound bites you played, it looks like more and more of my freedoms and your freedoms are going to be taken away, as far as renting a truck at Home Depot and so forth. But the bottom line here is that even what that mayor says, yeah, I'm going to go about my business, but I'd like to hear from your other listeners of the things that they have not going to do anymore. Is it going to a concert? Is it going in a crowd? I mean, do we always have to be constantly in fear? And I think the answer is yes about a lot of things now because, you know, these people went for an innocent bike ride on a secure bike path and they get run over. So I guess the question is, where are you safe anymore? And I don't think you're safe anywhere.
Thanks for
Have a nice day.
Thanks for the call. Well, the issue is that are we taking a defensive posture, or are we going to change the policy that puts us in a defensive posture?
I want to know what kind of vetting process he went through to get this diversity lottery, this diversity visa that he received.
Green card.
Green card. And where's his wife? He was married to a woman in 2013 in Ohio. He recently lived in Tampa, but was in Patterson, New Jersey, and that's where he rented the van from the Home Depot or the flatbed pickup truck.
Back to Stein about, bollards everywhere in front of all buildings and parks and paths.
Mm-hmm.
Why does every public place have to get uglified just because we don't want to address the insanity of Western immigration policies that day by day advance the interests of an ideology explicitly hostile to our civilization? Why should you have to lose an extra 15 minutes in an already sclerotic check-in counter because Hertz and Avis and U-Haul have to run your name through the no rent list? Why should open free societies become closed, monitored, ugly, cramped, and cowering? I think he strikes it to the heart of the question. Mark in Chicago.
Yes, good morning. Yesterday after the incident, not once on the mainstream media did they mention the judges who overturned this travel ban. And then the first one to jump on it and make it a political issue was none other than Lindsey Graham, who made reference to the fact that Trump better start paying attention to domestic terror.
Yeah, well, guys, Uzbekistan is not on the travel. That
Thanks
country,
for the call, Mark.
Uzbekistan is not on the travel warning list.
I understand. Okay, that's right. But it's a question of the larger policy of border security in this country. That's kind of what that goes to.
A terrorist expert this morning saying there's 1,500 Uzbekistanis fighting ISIS in Syria and Iraq, and their caliphate is falling apart, and they're desperate right now.
Yeah, you also have Uzbekistan as a majority Muslim country with an ISIS-connected terrorist movement in that country.
And the last time an Uzbekistani citizen did this was in Stockholm, remember? And they killed 5 people.
It's not about Uzbekistan. It's about our immigration policy. I don't care where you're coming from. It's about what are we doing to make sure people have to ask to come in, and we know why they're coming in. That's just not too much to ask, and it has nothing to do with all of the discriminatory misdirection play you hear from the left, and and a few on the right or center right.
The good news is Uber this morning suspended his account because this loser was an Uber driver in Paterson, New Jersey.
I don't think Uber is going to be the front line on our vetting either.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Uber should vet a little more, huh?
He did have other traffic incidents, too. You think that apparently resulted in arrests, so you would think that would have come up on a background check for Uber.
Maybe they're getting lazy over there, getting sloppy. Today, mostly cloudy, a high near 48 degrees. It will be rainy, chilly, just a raw day. Then tomorrow, a 50% chance of showers, mainly after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But warmer, a little humid, a high near 57 degrees, so that'll be nice. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. And here in Chicago, we've had a fatal crash involving a taxi cab and a car on the near north side, Gold Coast area. It doesn't appear to have any terror implications. It's a 2-car collision, and this happening in the area on Clark Street between Oak and Walton. Clark is blocked right now in that area. Actually, the crash was on Oak between LaSalle and State, right near Clark. And Oak is blocked off as well between LaSalle and State. It's happening about an hour and a half ago, more or less, and the investigation is ongoing. In Gary, northbound Klein Avenue is closed. 15th Avenue, 5th, after a dump truck hit an overhead sign. Klein is blocked northbound. Inbound I-57, a little heavy now, approaching the merge. Same goes to Bishop Ford Freeway. Got a 2-minute delay there. Inbound Ryan, tight Roosevelt, Burn Circle. The other expressways and tollways right now are clear. I'm Jim Talamonte, the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Message and data rates may apply.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit with all the details. That's SAVE to 33123. Again, text SAVE to 33123.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Policy Institute, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, talking about the terrorist attack yesterday in Manhattan, 8 dead, 11 injured, including the terrorist who was shot by police and expected to survive. I always appreciate...
He was conscious when they took him into yesterday for surgery, and they're going to reveal that information later today.
I always appreciate Casper from West Chicago because I like when people call in who disagree with me. It happens so rarely, and a few people are so courageous.
Gosh.
Casper in West Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Hi. I just want to ask you, Dan, how you could change your narrative when you are defending the gun owner who killed 58 people in Las Vegas, and then you go all away and attack against a terrorist who killed 8 people in New York. I don't get it.
Casper, hold on. Well, let's stop there because that's a lot to take in. I don't defend people who murder other people. So I didn't defend the Las Vegas shooter.
No.
And I'm not going to defend a terrorist, and I'm not going to defend the white supremacist, racist idiot who drove his car into a crowd in Charlottesville and killed that woman. So I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
No, I'm talking about that. Right now, you say we must go against the immigration laws, and we must attack how these people is coming to this country, and we need to spend money to be sure that this don't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But why you don't say the same about guns? Why you don't say
because guns aren't people. Thanks for the call, Casper. I hope I didn't know that this was unclear. Guns are inanimate objects. They have no sapience or sentience. That's how they differ from human beings. Is that unclear to anybody? Okay. Thank you for the call, Casper. Alex in Milwaukee.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. I just wanted to call in and say I think it's kind of funny that it's kind of been like a standing joke for the people that are opposing gun control that, are they going to start banning trucks and knives and stuff like that? And now they're actually considering banning trucks.
Yeah, well, thanks for the call, Alex. I mean, it goes back to the point that Stein made. It's an excellent write-up, which I tweeted out at Dan Proft if you want to take it all in, about effectively treating symptoms from a defensive posture because we're unwilling to examine the underlying policies that instigate this kind of exposure. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. And I don't know why we can't have that conversation without it devolving into identity politics. Well, I do know why, because some people aren't interested in that, but it doesn't make it right. Dan in Libertyville.
Yes, hello. Good morning, and thank you for having me on your show. Just want to say, in America, what has happened is that we've had a shift in the way that we think about defending ourselves. In my dad's era and before that, if someone was coming after you, you were armed and you were able to defend yourself. Today, most people don't conceal carry. Most people don't think like people did years ago, let's say when we had Indians. Some people call them Native Americans. We didn't call them radical Indians when they decided to come after us with tomahawks or bows and arrows. We just simply killed them and said they were savages. Today, that's politically incorrect to call somebody a savage, even when they want to run you down with a truck.
Thanks for the call, Dan.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Men preying on men in Hollywood at 5:37.
And not so fast. House of Cards has suspended production. It may not even have a season 6 because of bad behavior. And then it hits at home. Dan, a state senator from Illinois, has been accused of sexual harassment. And he's married. But first, let's go into the newsroom and catch up with Dave Stewart, who's in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 37 degrees in Chicago, 532 on AM 560, The Answer. A cloudy day and afternoon shower, possible high 47. After yesterday's truck attack that killed 8 in Lower Manhattan, New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo is directing state agencies to increase their presence at high-profile locations like airports, bridges, tunnels, mass transit. Suspect, a 29-year-old from Uzbekistan, was shot and wounded by police. Grief counselors on duty today at several New York City schools near the Tribeca terror attack. Many students either saw or were affected by the carnage.
They were all there in a gym on lockdown. They kept them calm. They had them all separated by classes. And, everyone was very nervous, but it was all handled very, very professionally.
As middle school parent Jim Reed praising teachers and school officials who managed to keep the students fairly calm. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez says that he and some of his colleagues plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump.
I and a group of colleagues, some of which are members of the Judiciary Committee, will put those before the Congress of the United States. I think it is time that we began to have that conversation in the United States of America.
Gutierrez told the City Club of Chicago that Trump is unfit to serve. A judge will not be assigning a special prosecutor to investigate a deadly police shooting in Chicago in 2011. The father of Flint Farmer requested another probe into his son's death. Flint was unarmed when he was shot and killed by former Chicago police officer Gildardo Sierra. Thousands of people who get their health insurance through the Illinois Obamacare Exchange can start their enrollment process now. Open enrollment starts today, will last only through December the 15th. In sports, Dodgers over the Astros 3-1, forcing a Game 7 in the World Series. In the NBA, the Bulls are at the Miami Heat. In hockey, the Hawks are hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. News, the service of LBJ the Movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. This Friday, theaters everywhere, rated R. AM 560 News Time, 5:34. Traffic check in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Build the wall. Build it. Build the wall. That wall on our southern border, get it done. Get it built. Build it now, doggone it. If you think I'm going to say anything else, you are profoundly mistaken. Build the wall. I want a wall on our southern border. I want to keep people out. Build the wall.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Build it.
Quoting home insurance just got easier with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Quote and buy, all online at Progressive.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
Sick of hair loss, thinning hair, bald spots? Ever thought about hair restoration? It's a life-changing decision. Thankfully, the first step is incredibly easy and absolutely free because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable their permanent solution to hair loss really is. Get yours by texting WOW to 85850. You'll see for free just how great your hair could look. Plus, we'll also give you a free gift card when you text WOW to 85850. Join the men and women all over the country who have come to Bosley, the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, for their permanent solution to hair loss. If you've ever thought about getting your hair back, don't miss this incredible offer. We're giving away an invaluable information kit absolutely free, plus a gift card for $250 off to everyone who texts WOW to 85850. That's WOW to 85850.
At 5:36 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Near north side of Chicago, we still have a closure or a couple of closures in the area around Clark and Oak. This is due to a two-vehicle collision involving a car and a taxi. And this has closures in that area, including Clark Street between Walton and near Oak. On the expressways, we're seeing some delays now. On the inbound Ryan, it's tight from 18th into the Burn Circle. 2-minute delay there. Also on inbound I-57 at the Bishop Ford, got 3 to 4 minute delays. No problems to report yet on the Edens with Kennedy. Inbound Eisenhower, just a little congestion around Manheim. Inbound Stevenson, a little tight. Cicero to Kedzie, just a little slow there. About a 1 minute delay. Tollways are looking good. No delays to report in Northwest Indiana. Traffic, it's a service of Staples. Staples helps your business create color presentations for less. Now get 20% back in Staples rewards on color copies, manuals, and presentations that are designed to impress. Staples at Pro Time. Offer ends 11/4/17. Exclusions apply. Go to staples.com/20color for more. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now your forecast. Cloudy, breezy, and chilly today. We'll see a shower in spots this afternoon, a high of 47. Tonight, mostly cloudy. A shower around until after midnight, a low of 44. Mostly cloudy tomorrow, but milder. Only a brief shower and a high tomorrow, 56. Right now, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 6 o'clock. Continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now, more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues now. And make sure to stay tuned to catch me, Mike Gallagher, coming up at 9, only on AM 560 The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. By the way, what's with the mother's pearls that have availed themselves this morning?
I call this the Barbara Bush starter kit.
Yeah.
Because she'd always wear 3 strands. I'm going to DuPage County, and I didn't bring my passport, so I thought they'd only let me in if I wore pearls.
That is true.
So
Yeah.
I'm working on a side project. I can't discuss it right now, but I have to dress conservatively.
Wow.
Does this look conservative enough?
Yeah.
Yeah? Wait till I put on my hair. Curl my hair.
Yes.
And put on my wig. No. And put makeup on. Then I'll really look like Barbara Bush.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be spectacular.
Okay.
People, you want to watch in the 8 o'clock hour, the transformation.
You need like a little cameo brooch or something, I think,
Well,
to
I think
set
that'd
that
be
off.
Too much. Because, 3 strands
Three
is a
strands
little aggressive.
3 strands that's a lot of strands.
This means business. Now, if I had 1 strand, it'd look a little, like I'm trying to be conservative, but this is full force.
Yeah.
Boom.
You look very kind of.
Don't be nice.
No, I
no,
mean,
wait. I look what?
No, like a
school marm.
No, like a Georgetown, power player of some sort. You're about to have a dinner party with the creme de la creme of society.
Or I'm going to pledge Tried-Out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that too. All right.
So where do you want to? Which bad boy do you want to start with?
Well, I want to start with the larger issue, and the larger issue is Corey Feldman vindicated. Corey Feldman vindicated. What do you think?
So.
What do you think, Babs, Barbara Walters, who dismissed his claims? Remember in that interview? What do you think? In the wake of Kevin Spacey's admission /hackery /misdirection play /cover story. Hollywood has a rampant, quote-unquote, and pervasive, quote-unquote, problem of men sexually abusing boys and young men, according to actors and lawyers who are speaking up about misconduct and harassment in the wake of an allegation against Kevin Spacey. This in The Guardian. It's a very taboo subject, said Alex Winter, an actor and director, who said he was sexually abused as a preteen child actor. I don't know of any boys in any pocket of the entertainment industry that do not encounter some form of predatory behavior. It's really not a safe environment.
Wow.
How about that? It's a pervasive problem in Hollywood, said L.A. attorney Tony Jeremiah, who has represented men in the entertainment industry in sexual harassment cases. Gosh, I wonder why she doesn't get the ink Lori Allred does. She said that men can be coerced into sex or assaulted in professional contexts and are often afraid to speak out. The common challenge is the fear of not being believed and the fear of having a situation turned against them to suggest that they are instigating it or they are finding opportunities to sleep their way into a role. How about that? And you had a Sex and the City star.
Which one?
That's that show about 3 prostitutes and their mother. If I'm not forgetting, if I'm remembering correctly.
Not their mother.
Yeah.
Which one? The blonde, the old one.
This is
lesbian
no.
redhead.
This is Gillis Marini.
Which one's that?
He was also in Samantha Jones.
Oh.
He is. He appeared as, I guess, the prostitute's mother, her next door neighbor. In the film adaptation of the series.
Yeah. Okay, I know who he is.
He.
What happened to him?
He said. He said, I was approached by extremely powerful people, especially after Sex and the City. I became a piece of meat for many executives in Hollywood.
Well, he is a gorgeous piece of meat at that. I mean, he's a gorgeous man. So I'm sure that.
Yes.
Do I have to take off the Barbara Bush starter kit now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's that. Andy Dick was, from News Radio, and he's a goofball. But anyway.
Was he attacked too as a kid?
No, he was fired from a movie, an independent film, Raising Buchanan, following accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct on the set. And which included groping people's genitals, unwanted kissing and licking. And
dear Lord, they sound like animals.
Well, and all they are is appetites, as I continue to say, and sexual propositions of at least 4 members of the production crew. Andy Dick is openly gay.
Mm-hmm.
So, vindicating Corey Feldman.
Well, a lot of us are waking up this morning to find out that House of Cards may not even have a 6th season. They have suspended filming. Are you ready for this? To give time to review the current situation and to address any concerns of our cast and crew. And that came after, actor Anthony Rapp told BuzzFeed on Sunday that Spacey made a sexual pass at him back in 1986.
Yeah, particularly.
Would you want to watch Kevin Spacey right now, knowing what we know? And how he tried to use his, now I'm gay, as an excuse for pedophilial behavior?
Yeah, what was the worst and most clanky cover story? Harvey Weinstein saying, I'm going to go after the NRA and Trump? Or Kevin Spacey pulling the old Jim McGreevey defense, I'm a gay American? Remember Jim McGreevey, 2004? For those who forgot, New Jersey governor. He's caught up in an extortion sex scandal. He's married. He's having an affair with some dude in his administration. And he tried to get ahead of the extortion scandal. He resigns his office and he announces, my truth is that I'm a gay American.
Yeah, so forgive me and love me because I'm different. I'm broken. I'm gay. So they might not even have a season 6, back to Kevin Spacey, because people, I don't know if they want to watch him right now.
Why'd you want to watch it anyway? That thing ran out of steam like halfway through season 2.
It's supposed to premiere in 2018, so we'll let you know if there's going to be a final season of House of Cards.
How about this little spin-off of the kind of whole outing that's going on across industry? This seems to me like, well, maybe perhaps piling on is the wrong phrase, but this seems to me like, this is perhaps a bit of a reach in terms of people trying to get in on this action and financial settlements and so forth. Ron Jeremy and some other porn star being accused of sexual harassment. Porn stars accusing porn stars of sexual harassment.
Isn't that part of what they do?
One would think, but there's a lot of outrage in the Daily Beast. Where's the outrage? Where's the running to the defense of porn stars who are accusing Ron Jeremy and some other scumbag porn star of sexual harassment and apparently sexual assault as well, I should add.
Jeremy Piven's being called out too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is he a porn star?
No, he's not a porn star, but something that happened in the trailer to another actress. Remember when you grabbed my blank on the casting couch without asking? Remember when I tried to leave and you grabbed me by my butt, looked at yourself in the mirror and said, what a beautiful couple we made? Jeremy Piven on 2 occasions cornered me and forcibly fondled my breasts and bum, once at the mansion and once on set. #MeToo.
Mm-hmm.
CBS is investigating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's a star of some show called Wisdom of the Crowd.
Webcam model Ginger Banks, if that is her real name.
Webcam model. That's what you used to do. Right?
Well, I did.
Well,
before I
first
got
you were
this
a
gig.
hand, but you were a hand model. Then you were a leg model.
Then it was all of me.
Yeah.
I started posting on industry-only forums, and producers and industry people were telling me to get used to it. That's just what happens in porn, says Banks. But she says groping is not just what happens in porn, and she's not going to take it.
That's a hard one for me to process.
Yeah,
because I don't know where the line is drawn, you know?
Yeah.
There's a gray area there.
Uh-huh. That is a difficult one, I think, is
It is.
the phrase you wanted to use.
Oh, yeah, difficult, not hard. Thanks.
Mike in Bolingbrook.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how everybody's so surprised by this, especially in the movie industry. If you look at everything that's coming out from them, even from Disney all the way to the other side, where the most movies put out by Hollywood are porn, horror movies, movies about violence, and movies about serial killers. Not really surprised by any of this.
Well, okay, that's fair enough, Mike. Thanks for the call about not being surprised by it. But there's one thing to not be surprised by the immoral and, in many cases, illegal conduct of these individuals. It's another thing to see it tolerated or covered up. And once it starts to unravel, the whole thing should unravel. I mean, you're talking about, remember, you're talking about here with Spacey and the allegations made by Corey Feldman, and now these allegations made by other actors in Hollywood. You're talking about men preying on boys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not just like, oh, that's Hollywood, back of the hand. If we're outraged appropriately when it's the Speaker of the House or it's a football coach at Penn State,
Or a theater teacher at Evanston.
correct. Perhaps I think it's fair to say we should root it out wherever it exists. I mean, obviously, or the Catholic Church for that matter.
Yeah.
Root it out wherever it exists, because a civilized society can't tolerate the exploitation of children. So it's not about surprise. It's about what are we going to do about it? Are we going to take these allegations seriously, and are we going to hold people accountable? Or is Kevin Spacey above the law now because he's living his truth as a gay American?
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And later, they're naming names in Springfield of people who have sexually harassed others. The Me Too campaign is picking up steam. You're not going to want to miss it.
If those floodgates open, holy cow, get ready.
First, here's your forecast. Today, mostly cloudy, a high near 48 degrees. It's going to be pretty raw out there. Rain's going to start early this evening. And then things are going to heat up. Tomorrow, we're going to have a 50% chance of showers. But warmer, a high near 60 degrees, so that'll be nice. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. That awful double fatality downtown. How are the roads, Jim Telemonte?
All right, Amy, it's still a closure in the Gold Coast area. Dan and Amy, this is affecting Clark Street and Oak Street. This crash happened on Oak near Clark between LaSalle and State. So Clark is closed right now, the near north side, between Oak and Walton. And Oak is closed between LaSalle and State. This after a fatal collision involving a car and another car, a taxi cab in that area. Gary, northbound Klein Avenue is closed. 15th Avenue to 5th. The dump truck hit an overhead sign there, so the northbound side of Klein is closed. Expressways and tollways, fairly routine right now. About Eisenhower, slow Manheim to Harlem, and then Racine into the Burn Circles. You've got about 5 minutes worth of delays. And the routine early slowdowns on the Stevenson, Ryan, I-57, and the Bishop Ford. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, you know you secretly want to be a rock star. ChicagoRadioDeals.com can put you one step closer to living out your dream with these amazing deals from our very good friends over at Midlothian Music. You can bang on the drums all day with your own Tamara Imperial Star 5-piece drum kit that includes cymbals, stands, and a throne for only $350. That's a $700 value. Pick your color that best matches your personality. Hey, create your own sound with a Casio digital piano, which feels and sounds like a real piano. Now, this keyboard is also $350. and comes with a matching stand. Or you can play your favorite riff on a Taylor mahogany and spruce Grand Auditorium acoustic electric guitar. This full-size handmade instrument is really a gorgeous guitar, which retails for about $1,000, but it's half the price at ChicagoRadioDeals.com. Midlothian Music is dedicated to bringing you the best selection of American-made, handcrafted instruments, plus you will experience exceptional customer service with every purchase. Find all these rockin' deals and more only at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to HelixSleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to HelixSleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's HelixSleep.com/talkradio.
What if hiring could be easier, with more qualified candidates and faster results? What if hiring could be smarter? Thanks to ZipRecruiter, it can be. With one click, post your job to over 100 top job boards. Then, their smart technology notifies the most qualified candidates to apply. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
Despite President Trump's repeated requests, Senate Republicans failed again to repeal Obamacare. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker, C.S. Tucker, from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the past 6 years.
Thanks, Dan. ACA open enrollment is now only 45 days long. From November 1st to December 15th, you cannot be denied coverage based on a pre-existing condition. And depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. With narrow networks, even fewer choices, and higher deductibles, now more than ever, you need an expert to help you gain access to the best hospitals and specialists available. Call me. I can help.
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Roof is needy?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof is leaky? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Shingles are curly?
Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy? Call Grumweedy.
630-595-8020.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
Since 1953, the roof guys for your home and business.
We fix roof problems.
Get it done before the winter comes.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Grumweedy. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Call us. We make sure your warranty is in place. Crumweedy. 630.
Wait. Just remember, myroofisneedy.com.
Okay, from the start.
The acerola cherry.
Alfalfa leaf, aloe vera, apples, asparagus, banana.
Beets, bell pepper, broccoli.
Blueberries, blackberries, cranberry.
I make my Texas superfood from 55 raw, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables.
Mangosteen.
Pineapple, sweet potato.
Papaya, parsley, peach.
You can see all 55 on TexasSuperfood.com.
Raspberry, spinach, all of the nutrients that we need on a daily basis.
You know, it's been barely a week, and already my skin is better.
I lost 60 pounds. I mean, that's huge.
Since I've been on superfood, I haven't been sick.
I'm Dennis Black here in Dallas, Texas. Wouldn't you rather be healthy, energetic, and fit?
It's borderline shocking how much energy I have.
Join us on TexasSuperfood.com.
TexasSuperfood.com.
Or call 877-55-TEXAS. That's 877-55-TEXAS. 877-55-TEXAS. Or
TexasSuperfood.com.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
At 5:57 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Kennedy inbound. Heavy from the River Road toll to Canfield and Foster to Lawrence. It's 23 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. Edens remains clear. On Eisenhower, delays kick in around Manhunt. 35 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 30. Stevenson, 42 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound fine at 34. Ryan is 21 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound good as Roadwood wraps up between 87th and Split. I-57, 18 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 423. Tollways are looking fine. Traffic is a service of Liberty Mutual Insurance. From weather to traffic and everything in between, you have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
And now a look at your forecast, and here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A breezy day today with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Cloudy with a shower in spots for the afternoon, high 47. Then a shower around until after midnight tonight with a low 44. Tomorrow, a brief shower or two, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 37 degrees at the Lakefront Midway and at O'Hare. AM 560 News Time, 5:58. In the news, no bail for an Elgin man accused of killing his mother and dumping her dismembered body in a Chicago lagoon. Brian Peck was charged yesterday with murdering Gail Peck. Her remains discovered Saturday in the Lincoln Park Lagoon. Chicago police say there's no known threat to the city after yesterday's terror attack in New York City. However, the police department is heightening security in crowded areas of the city out of an abundance of caution. A victims' rights advocate is accusing State Senator Iris Silverstein of sexual harassment. Denise Rothheimer claims the Chicago Democrat harassed her as they worked together on legislation. Silverstein has apologized, but he denies sexually harassing the woman. President Obama got a laugh yesterday as he welcomed guests to the first ever Obama Foundation Summit.
The reason I'm so excited to see you all here today, in part, is because this is where I started. Now, this isn't where I was born. I was born in Kenya. No, that's a joke.
Among the guests was Britain's Prince Harry. He discussed the charitable foundation that he started with his brother and sister-in-law to promote social change. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez, he and some of his colleagues plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump. Gutierrez told the City Club that Trump is unfit to serve. In sports, the Bulls are at Miami. The Hawks are hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. We'll have more of Chicago's Morning Answer coming up. Right now, it's time for Fox News. You're listening to WIND Chicago, 37 degrees at 6 o'clock.
He left a note in the truck pledging allegiance to ISIS. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The accused New York City terrorist Saifullah Saipov, who shouted "God is great" in Arabic after plowing through people on a New York City bike path in a truck.
I need an ambulance right here. Right here.
8 people were killed, 11 injured. Saipov was hurt too.
He is in the hospital recovering from his wounds after being shot twice by a heroic police officer who stopped this attack. His surgery was successful. We are told he is expected to fully recover. 5 of the 8 people who he killed were visiting from Argentina in what was supposed to be a trip celebrating a graduation.
Fox's Garrett Tenney near the scene. Saipov came to the U.S. in 2010. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on his background live here in New York.
He came here to the U.S. illegally from Uzbekistan in 2010 as part of the diversity visa program. He was staying in Paterson, New Jersey, but he has a Florida driver's license. Now, he is not a U.S. citizen. Investigators are searching a home in New Jersey and a van in a parking lot at a Home Depot store there. Records show Saipov was a commercial truck driver who had a couple of businesses in Ohio and had also driven for Uber. Now, an Uber official told the New York Times, as well as Fox, Saipov passed the company's background check, Dave.
Tony, President Trump tweeted last night, being politically correct is fine, but not for this. So he's ordered Homeland Security to step up our already extreme vetting program. A hostage standoff at a California elementary school ended last night when a Riverside SWAT team stormed in and shot and killed the man whose daughter's in first grade. He'd been holding a 70-year-old teacher captive for hours. This student says,
It's just really scary to the point where you're shooken in fear. You can't move. You're freeze.
Republicans in Congress are delaying the rollout of their tax plan till tomorrow.
The Democrats will say our tax bill is for the rich, but they know it's not.
The Senate's Democratic leader Chuck Schumer counters.
I think if the president spent time to read the bill, he would oppose it.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Hey, yeah, this is Petco. And your dog just called? This is awkward, but he wanted me to let you know we just lowered our prices on dog food and that he prefers something a little healthier.
At Petco, we believe price should never be a barrier to better nutrition. That's why we have new everyday low prices. Visit Petco today to chat with one of our nutrition specialists or go to petco.com to see for yourself.
Also, he said he'd really appreciate it if you would stop doing that weird thing in front of the mirror.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and picking up our discussion of the radical Islamist terrorist attack in Manhattan yesterday that left 8 dead, 11 injured. The Uzbekistan national, who was in this country legally but not an American citizen, he won one of the green cards in the diversity lottery. It was injured, shot by a heroic New York City police officer, Ryan Nash, 5 years on the force, expected to survive.
And he got out of his truck, too. He had 2 guns. They ended up being pellet guns. They weren't real weapons.
Right. So he took to a bike path along the Hudson River in a truck he rented from Home Depot and mowed down people, as we've seen happen in London Bridge, in Nice. He was yelling Allahu Akbar, and he had those pellet and paint guns, not actual firearms, as you described.
And inside the truck that he rented, he had a note pledging allegiance to ISIS. Been here in this country for 7 years. Was an Uber driver, Dan, in New York recently, in New Jersey. Married to a woman in 2013 in Ohio. Had a Florida driver's license. And they don't know they say that he was a lone wolf. But what I liked is right at the outset, they called this what it was, a terror attack.
Let me be clear that based on the information we have at this moment, this was an act of terror, and a particularly cowardly act of terror aimed at innocent civilians, aimed at people going about their lives who had no idea of what was about to hit them. We, at this moment, based on the information we have, we know of 8 innocent people who have lost their lives, and over a dozen more injured. We know that this action was intended to break our spirit, but we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us.
It's the deadliest attack they've had since 9/11.
That was Bill de Blasio giving the standard patter in the wake of these attacks from politicians who it takes every fiber in their being to state the obvious, as Bill de Blasio did, that it was a terrorist attack. Yeah. Cuomo, the governor of New York, we go forward together. We go forward stronger than ever. We're not going to let them win. We'll go about our business, be New Yorkers, live your life. Don't let them change us. I ask again if that's what you think is happening, that they're not changing us. That we're the defensive posture that we take in response to these terrorist attacks, whether they come via planes, via knives, via trucks, via bombs. It's not changing us. It's not changing the society we live in and the extent of the freedom of that society. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro, text line. Those statements by de Blasio and Cuomo are of the this is the price of living in a free society variety. That we just have to accept this. Do we have to accept it? Is that the price of living in a free society? We just have to accept it. That's just part of it. I don't think so. I don't think we do. We don't have to accept it lying prone like we are with respect to policy choices. And we're going to talk to Colonel Jeff Adicott at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, who's the director of the Center for Terrorism Law and a former JAG Corps, about the attack. And, specifically, how policy impacts our exposure. John in Peatone, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi there. I happen to notice very closely that although Fox gave wide-angle coverage of de Blasio standing next to John Miller and looking so pathetic and so interested, and here he's got a sanctuary city, but I just for the heck of it, I flipped over to CNN and noticed that they didn't have that wide-angle shot. All they had was John Miller. So, come on. That's all the statement I have.
Thanks for
Well,
the
they have
call,
a
John.
mayoral race next week. They have the New York Marathon this Sunday. They had a Halloween parade yesterday. I mean, he chose to do this terrorist attack near the World Trade Center to send a message, I think.
Anthony in Plainfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I'm wondering if they're going to try this our civilian court systems where he's afforded the luxury of being innocent until proven guilty, or are they going to send him to Gitmo and have the Marines interrogate him?
Thanks for the call, Anthony. We'll put that to Colonel Adicott in the 8 o'clock hour. I suspect he'll be tried.
Federal charges?
Right,
Yeah.
federal terrorism charges in New York. That's what I suspect. Much like the first World Trade Center bombers.
Right.
Yeah, the Blind
And the
Sheikh and
Sinarf.
others. Yeah, and
One Sinarf brother.
So, but what about safe havens here? I mean, we've talked about the progress made in the fight against ISIS. We've highlighted the more moderate tones coming from the House of Saud in terms of opening up that society and franchising women with rights and so forth. Raqqa taken back from ISIS, their caliphate, such as it is, shrinking. But what about while we've been busy trying to eliminate safe havens in Africa and the Middle East and Central Asia, we've allowed for safe havens, for example, as our friend from Peatone mentioned, sanctuary cities here. What about those safe havens? Should those be a concern? Mark in Joliet, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Amy and Dan. I got a quick question. Every time that there's a mass shooting or something, the politicians can't get in line quick enough to say, hey, we got to disarm we the people, take away the guns. Where are those same politicians when there are these terrorist attacks about sanctuary cities and open borders and stuff like that? Where are they?
Well, right. I mean, thanks for the call, Mark. That's why you get those cliches. We go forward stronger than ever. We're going to live our life. We're not going to let them change us. We're not going to let them win. Okay, nice sentiments. How? What is it you're going to do that you haven't been doing, if that's the case? I mean, how many of these instances do we have to mention, or in places? Orlando, San Bernardino, Manhattan, and obviously all the Western European cities you could mention as well.
Stockholm, Belgium, goes on and on. The last Uzbekistan resident who did, used a vehicle to kill people was in Stockholm in April of 2017.
So if we're going to win and they're not going to change us, what is it we're going to do that we're not doing now? It seems to me that what Cuomo and de Blasio and others in similar situations after these horrific attacks are really saying is, get used to it. Get used to it. We're gonna offer some nice sentiments. We're going to look very dour, and we're going to be very upset, and we're going to be morally indignant, and we're going to call for unity, and we're going to tell people to remember that our strength is in diversity. And those are all fine sentiments. But what is it exactly you plan on doing differently than you're doing now is the question. I think it's a fair one, since, these are the people in charge of government. And that's where the conversation seems to end. I don't hear any, well, here's what we're going to do. When I say we're going to win, when I say we're going to prevent these attacks from happening in the future, here's what I mean from a policy perspective. What politician do you hear offering an answer to that question? Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Good morning. Terrible thing. I just wish we had something lighter to talk about this morning. I wanted to ask Dan, how did it go yesterday at Halloween? I know some people that live in your building, and they said that your butler was passing out pocket-sized copies of the Magna Carta and golf tees from your club in Wheaton.
I think it makes
not go over big.
I think it makes a nice gift. Thanks for the call, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate you getting the 411 on me and my my Halloween offerings. But I think let's go back to 1215. Let's understand the Magna Carta, and then we'll fast forward to the development of Western civilization. Since putting it as the context of terrorist attacks, since Western civilization is under threat, maybe we should remember its unique quality. Maybe we should recall why this is worth protecting, in addition to our individual lives and the lives of our family and friends and people we care about. The civilization that's worth protecting. What about that? I mean, what's the report? I mean, play that reporter asking people about this terrorist attack. I mean, this is
minutes after the attack. They grabbed a man on the street who saw it all, and this wasn't road rage, folks.
Could you tell that he wanted to be in that bike lane? Did it seem like it was an accident or something?
It looked intentional. When I saw it, I see the car in a bike lane. It's 3 in the afternoon. Who drives in a bike lane? I thought it was terrorists.
What time do you drive?
Did it look like he'd been on the bike lane for?
From when I saw it, yeah, it looked like he was. It looked like he started out there. He was going really fast, and the way the two gentlemen were, you could tell he was going fast.
Yeah, okay, we get it. Yeah. So, I mean, the point is, it's these reporters and politicians are so PC-addled. Hey, you think it could have been an accident? I don't know. I mean, usually you don't see Home Depot trucks mowing down people on the bike lane with a guy shouting Allahu Akbar and holding what looked to be a gun, turned out to be a pellet gun, out the window. I mean,
and he went on the bike.
It could have been an accident.
He went on the bike lane for more than a mile, too. He stayed on the bike lane.
God, I wonder if he's having some kind of episode. I mean, honestly, morons. Brad in the car. In the car.
Hey, guys.
Or in a car.
Enjoy the show.
Thanks,
Hello.
Brad. Yeah, thanks, Brad. Go ahead.
I just think it's interesting when somebody goes out and some nut job in Las Vegas kills somebody with a gun, all the politicians yell about how ineffective the gun laws are. But when this guy goes out with an intent to kill people, and all he can get his hands on is a BB gun and a pellet gun or a paintball gun.
That's good.
They don't talk about how effective the gun laws are.
Okay, fair point.
Well, we don't know
Thanks for the call, Brad.
and we don't know at this point if he did try to purchase real firearms
Right.
or not.
Right.
But that's what they caught him with. But he did purchase a truck, and they are trying to vet people, better at Hertz and Avis and all rental car companies and all places where you can rent trucks. Here's John Miller. He's the New York City terror czar.
After ISIS, Rumiyah magazine came out with the issue just about 2 years ago, around this time of year, suggesting car attacks. You'll recall one of the targets they suggested was the Thanksgiving Day parade. We went and did extensive outreach to the truck rental business. We visited over 148 truck rental locations in this area, the obvious ones, U-Haul, Ryder, Home Depot, etc., and talked about suspicious indicators, ways to come forward. After attacks on the German Christmas market, after Nice, we repeated those visits 2 more times, either by making telephonic contact, email, or going back to the same places. So the industry has had a high level of awareness on this matter from the NYPD.
I mean, when I went to Stockholm and rented a 9-passenger van, they made me sign a piece of paper. Granted, it was non-binding, but still saying that I am going to be in sole possession of this vehicle and not letting anybody else ride it.
Yeah, Mark Stein makes the point. Why should you have to lose an extra 15 minutes at an already sclerotic check-in counter because Hertz and Davis and U-Haul have to run your name through the no-rent list? That's how we're going to address this? That's defensive. The same thing, putting bollards up everywhere. Defensive. Don't want it. Not nobody. Politicians like de Blasio and Cuomo don't want to talk about underlying policy. So they kind of foist this all on law enforcement and in private industry to change how they rent their cars, change how people access public spaces. Cowards. Jim in Tampa, Florida.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. So you think strategically from the standpoint of the terrorists, they're getting routed all over the globe. If I were the terrorists, I'd want to get to Chicago, get to New York, get to San Francisco, get to a sanctuary city. You'll be safe there. The military can't chase you down those places. You can regroup and figure out what to do next. It's just a big problem. And is it a constitutional crisis? The military can't come? I don't know if that's true, but it's a problem. Anyway, that's my comment.
Thanks for the call, Jim. Your posse comitatus federal law and quartering of troops that's contemplated in the Bill of Rights, but it's not a military problem. But you're right. There is a law enforcement restraint problem in big cities, meaning the civilian political leadership doesn't allow the police to do their jobs and doesn't allow local law enforcement to interact with federal law enforcement, which otherwise I thought the purpose of 9/11 was to have law enforcement better synchronized up and down the food chain. But I guess not when identity politics is at stake. Lewis in Texas.
Good morning, guys. I have 2 quick comments. The first one was, which most of your callers already hit on, was places like Chicago, New York, and all these sanctuary cities. They are pretty much breeding grounds for people because like they said before, they're pretty much protected, to a certain extent, and the government not do the background checks on them, which they should be doing because when these attacks normally happen later on when they start vetting their lives, find out they were connected to this group, they were connected to that group. Well, guess what, people? That's why if you allow the government and you allow these laws to go through the process, we would find these people before these actions happen. But also, I wanted to comment on being I was 10 years in the Marine Corps. I did 6 deployments in Afghanistan and Iraq, and actually talked to some of these terrorists we haven't detained. And the reason a lot of them do this is because they see America as weak. They exploit our times of weakness when we go
Exactly.
through political crisis and we're arguing with each other. When we have this Black Lives Matter and we're arguing with each other, that for us is a weak moment, and they are attacking at those moments because they smell blood in the water.
It's thanks for the call. It's such a good point. Weakness is provocative. And our strength is that we're a free society. Our weakness is that we won't defend a free society.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
At least they suspended his Uber driver application on his car. Yes, that monster was an Uber driver. Today, cloudy, chilly, pretty raw out there. We're going to have rain likely late this evening, early this morning. A high today only of 48 degrees. Tomorrow, a 50% chance of showers, but it's going to be humid and warmer around here. Clouds, of course, and a high near 60 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Gold Coast got a closure of Clark Street. This at Oak, actually between Oak and Walton, after a fatal collision involving a taxi cab and a car on Oak between LaSalle and State. Oak's blocked as well. Richton Park, 3 ambulances are responding to Steger at Cicero after a collision between a car and a deer. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 19. Kennedy, 29 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 27. Westbound 190 is heavy from the Kennedy to Tri-State. Inbound Eisenhower, 46 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 34. Stevenson, 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford, 29. Eastbound Reagan Tollway, little heavy approach to the Tri-State. I'm Jim Talamonte of the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember. Time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Levels. That's where I got my levels tested. Their service was fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor. That's why they make it quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you get your results back in about 20 minutes, and most health insurance is accepted. This Movember, Low T Center is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment for just $50. Guys, take the first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center, now with the location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's me. 312-239-3427 is the number. Call now, 312-239-3427, or go to lowtcenter.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit with all the details. That's SAVE to 33123. Again, text SAVE to 33123.
Did you know 40% of all cancer could be prevented? That's a fact. Along with maintaining appropriate body weight and regular exercise, the American Institute for Cancer Research and the USDA confirm that eating 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables every day is the key. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? How many servings of fruits and vegetables did I eat today? Balance of Nature has solved this problem and provides an easy and affordable way to consume over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables every day.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Kurt Penn, founder and CEO of Good Foods. In 2007, I was shopping in a natural foods grocery store and had a vision for a company that would produce fresh, all-natural foods with a social conscience. Signature Bank helped turn that vision into what now is Good Foods. Signature Bank President Mick O'Rourke listened to our story and learned about our business. Mick has been with us every step of the way. Signature Bank takes care of the details so we can focus on producing good foods. Signature Bank is deeply invested in our success. Good Foods is very proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
For the very best in promotional products for your business.
For the latest promotional trends.
For attracting customers to your logo like a magnet.
For on-time delivery of high-quality items with your logo.
For personal service.
4imprint, the nation's leading team to unleash your logo on your choice of thousands of promotional items. And right now, you can get a coupon for 10% off your next promotional order at 4imprint by texting the word PRO to 88988.
For empowering your logo at your next trade show.
For making a lasting impression.
For rewarding employees.
For free art assistance.
For making your logo shine.
The experts at 4imprint are ready to help.
For thousands of promotional items.
For popular brands.
For exclusive items.
For your 100% satisfaction.
4imprint.
For a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order, text PRO to 88988. That's a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order by texting PRO to 88988.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, Trump responded to the disclosure of the plea agreement between the federal government and George Papadopoulos, tweeting, "Few people knew the young, low-level volunteer named George, who has already proven to be a liar. Check the Dems." Okay. And former Trump advisor Michael Caputo was on with Chris Cuomo yesterday on CNN. Caputo, who was brought into the campaign by Manafort, had this to say about Papadopoulos and the importance of that plea.
And in fact, I never heard of Papadopoulos. He never showed up at Trump Tower, never had any interaction with any of the campaign leaders around me. And the leaders of the Washington office of the campaign didn't even know who he was until his name appeared in the press. The guy was the coffee boy. I mean, you might have called him a foreign policy analyst, but in fact, if he was going to wear a wire, all we know now is whether he prefers a caramel macchiato over a regular American coffee in conversations with his barrister. He had nothing to do with the campaign, and all of this contact with alleged Russians is something completely beyond the scope of his volunteer duties.
Well, we know he lives in Ravenswood with his parents. I don't know if he lives in the basement or if he still has his childhood room, but...
Do we know who his barista is, per Michael Caputo? So the Trump campaign administration making Papadopoulos out to be the coffee boy. He is apparently to the Trump campaign, or was to the Trump campaign, what Pajamas Boy was to Obamacare.
And Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out yesterday. It's like, this is not the Trump administration. This guy was a fake. He was a phony and a liar.
I think that Papadopoulos is an example of actually somebody doing the wrong thing while the president's campaign did the right thing. All of his emails were voluntarily provided to the special counsel by the campaign, and that is what led to the process and the place that we're in right now, was the campaign fully cooperating and helping with that. What Papadopoulos did was lie, and that's on him, not on the campaign, and we can't speak for that.
So clearly they're trying to distance themselves and saying that he was the fraud. He, misrepresented himself. But also, I learned this morning, Paul Manafort, the reason why he's on home arrest, he had 3 different U.S. passports. And according to their investigators, he traveled to Mexico, China, and Ecuador using a fictitious name and different email and phone number connected to each passport. So that's a little strange. And that Rick, his friend, had 15 different financial bank accounts, and
it would have been the real issue is that Trump, despite his posture to apply extreme vetting to people who want to come into this country, didn't apply extreme vetting to those that were in and around his campaign.
Yeah, in his
and so now he's suffering. Well, not that Papadopoulos was. Manafort obviously was for a time, but now he's suffering the results of that.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
the culture of sexual harassment that exists in Springfield, in your state capital, Illinoisans, and the first sitting politician named.
State lawmakers are being outed this morning. We'll tell you who and what exactly they did. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Dave Stewart sitting in for Mike Scott, who is living his second day of life without his appendix.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 37 degrees in Chicago now at 6:31 on AM 560. The Answer. Clouds, an afternoon shower today. Look for a high of 47. Police have reportedly searched the Paterson, New Jersey apartment of the man being held in a deadly terror attack in Lower Manhattan that left 8 people dead and 11 injured. Neighbors say the man and his wife typically kept to themselves and say they don't want people to judge the community because of this one bad apple.
I honestly wouldn't know what to say because of how shocked I am.
We're not harmful or anything like that, so I don't know what he's been through or what he went through, but we all should be peaceful.
The building's owner confirms that Seyfulo Saipov lived with his wife and 2 young children in that 2-bedroom apartment for at least a few months. He's hospitalized after being shot by the NYPD. President Trump's opioid commission will deliver its final report today on the drug epidemic. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie heads that commission, which has been researching the deadly health crisis since March. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez says that he and some of his colleagues in Congress plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump.
I do not believe that the President of the United States should be President of the United States of America, not because he's Republican, but because he's ill-fit for the office of the presidency of the United States of America.
Gutierrez spoke at the City Club of Chicago yesterday. 2 people are dead after a crash involving a taxi cab on the near north side. Police say a vehicle was traveling on Dearborn when it ran a red light and hit a cab on Oak Street. Both drivers were killed. Chicago man's accused of shooting someone during a robbery at a Lowry's downtown steakhouse where he used to work. Marcus Norwood faces multiple charges, including attempted murder and robbery. Actor Jeremy Piven, who grew up in Evanston, is categorically denying sexual harassment allegations leveled by reality star Ariane Bellamar. Bellamar tweeted that the Entourage actor cornered and groped her once in his on-set trailer and once at the L.A. Playboy Mansion. In sports, Dodgers over the Astros 3-1, forcing a Game 7 in the World Series. In the NBA, the Bulls at the Miami Heat tonight. The Hawks are hosting the Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL. News and service of CiCi's. Want to taste the sauced and tossed flavors of CiCi's wings on your pizza? Well, now you can. New wing-inspired pizzas with honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and buffalo chicken. Now on CiCi's buffet for just $5 and change. Prices may vary at participating locations for a limited time. AM 560 News Time, 6:33. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
You can always count on Dennis Prager to go deeper into an issue.
It's so obvious to me that there are gradations of sin. A serial adulterer is not the same as a one-time adulterer. Otherwise, we're doomed. If everything is equal in the world of sin, then is everything equal in the world of good? So is everybody just morphed into some giant moral blob?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
2 strong banking teams have united to help you continue to grow your business with the same dedication and even more opportunities. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. The same team you know and trust now brings deeper resources, global banking reach, and the power to help your business seize new opportunities. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but as you grew up, things changed. Teaching just didn't seem like the best option anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Interesting and innovative things are happening in teaching today, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
At 6:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. And on Chicago's near north side, Clark remains closed between Oak and Walton. After that major overnight wreck, and Oak is closed between LaSalle and State. And Joliet eastbound 30 is closed from the frontage road to I-55. There's a rollover there. Eden's Expressway inbound at Slow Gulf to Dempster and Niles Center to the junction. 25 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. On Kennedy, now 40 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 15 from Montrose, 14 in the Express. Outbound 15 minutes to Montrose and 38 to the airport. On Eisenhower, So St. Charles to the Tri-State, Manheim to Harlem, Nashville to the Circle. 52 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, 37 from Manheim, outbound 41 to Thorndale. On Stevenson now 45 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38, Ryan 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 31 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishopport 29. Westbound Tri-State will see delays from 115th to 87th. The Hinsdale Oasis to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer is next, but now the forecast. Cloudy today, breezy, chilly, maybe an afternoon shower and a high of 47. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower until midnight, a low of 44. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and milder with a brief shower and a high tomorrow 56. But right now, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 7 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So last week you had a couple of politicos in Springfield pen this open letter about the culture of sexual harassment in Springfield, in the state capital, among your political ruling class here in Illinois, the den of iniquity that is the Springfield political scene. And yesterday, as legislators returned for veto session, a woman named Denise Rothheimer told a House committee considering sexual harassment legislation, this is legislation we've previously talked about on this show, you know, all the politicians rushing to be seen as doing something and to be seen to be concerned about something that they've known about forever, but didn't address it until they were called out. Now that they have been called out, they want to do something. So legislation introduced for sexual harassment, mandatory sexual harassment training for state employees and politicians, and the usual papering over the cultural problem. So Ms. Rothheimer is testifying on that, as to that legislation. And she named a name of a bad actor. She filed a harassment complaint against State Senator Ira Silverstein, who's up, north side of the city towards Lincoln Woods, Skokie. And she talks specifically about what she alleges Silverstein did to her.
What I dealt with Silverstein, I ended up 6 weeks in a crisis. I lost 20 pounds. My hair fell out. I was so scared that I would have to admit myself into a hospital because I went down to like 109 pounds.
Yeah, it was a startling revelation. We haven't heard from Silverstein yet on his what exactly transpired, but she went on.
He would have meetings with me because he liked to look at me. He thought I was pretty. He would tell me I'm intoxicating, I'm intimidating, I look like a movie star, always pointing out how I look. He's a married man.
Well, she worked with him, with Silverstein, on a cable access program, but she says there was always a dark side to him behind the scenes. And while he never directly propositioned her or touched her inappropriately, she felt Silverstein sponsored her bill with ulterior motives, so that everything he did because he tried to control her.
Rothheimer also said she approached her state senator up in Lake County, Melinda Bush, Democrat, to ask her for help. Nothing happened. She said, I want him to answer for it. I know it was wrong. Rothheimer said of Silverstein, it's unconscionable. Now, it's also worth noting Rothheimer is running for state rep in Lake County. She's in in the Republican primary to face Sam Yingling, an incumbent Democrat, up Grays Lakeway. Rothheimer, though, I know who she is, and basically her voting record is Dem, so it's interesting she chose to run in a Republican primary. But nonetheless, her complaint is her complaint, and she's named a name, so she put a marker down. Also, Senate President Cullerton's office said he was made aware of the allegations on late in November of last year. Senior staff met with Senator Silverstein to let him know such allegations are taken seriously and that this would be reported to the Legislative Inspector General's office, which it was.
Yeah, so today's November 1st. So a year ago. And they sat on their hands and did nothing.
Well, here's one of the problems about reporting it to the Legislative Inspector General's office.
Yeah.
There is no Legislative Inspector General.
Oh. Well,
and there hasn't been for years. So Madigan now is pledging to get that slot filled soon.
Channel 7, the I-team over there did leave. They were able to reach Senator Silverstein via phone because he wasn't at his North Side office. He said the, quote, allegations are false, but he did add, I apologize if I made her feel uncomfortable. He's married, of course, don't you know, to the Chicago Alderman Deborah Silverstein, 50th Ward, who's very good friends with Emmanuel and Amy Rule. Very good friends.
Yeah,
they stick together. They're
Bernie Stone.
Yeah.
Rothheimer also played a recording of the voicemail from Silverstein.
Yeah.
In which he says, you must be working on your six-pack. So, boy, it sounds...
Do you think he was talking about Duff's beer or just the six-pack on the abs?
Yeah, it sounds like Rothheimer may have a quality claim against Senator Ira Silverstein. You know, if we ever get a legislative inspector general that could review the complaint that was submitted allegedly by the Senate President's office, Democrat. You know, this is the Senate President who's a Democrat, one of his members, Senator Ira Silverstein, Democrat, and we referred it to the Legislative Inspector General's office, which we know there is no Legislative Inspector General, and there hasn't been for years, and that was a year ago. But they're serious about this.
Oh, yeah.
They're
really.
serious about a culture of harassment and people being victimized in Springfield.
Well, yesterday during that, after that dramatic revelation in the House Personnel and Pensions Committee, another state rep, Linda Chapalavia, I hope I pronounced
Linda
right.
Chapalavia.
Yeah. She made a call to action.
But just out of curiosity, if anybody has ever felt sexually harassed, can you just raise your hand with me in the room? It men too, okay? I think we really need to stand up as men and women and take this on.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be surprised how many people raise their hands.
I'm sure everybody did
because
because now it's this is like we're solidarity and marginality kind of thing.
Well, and I did see two guys did raise their hands as well. And that's not making light of what they went through. I mean, look at what happened to Corey Feldman and Kevin Spacey's
Let me tell you something.
Actor.
If this does prompt more people to come forward, I mean, all of the rumors I've heard in Springfield for so many years, I mean, I can't confirm them, but I've heard of them for a long time. If Miss Rothheimer's coming forward encourages others to do so, then good for her and good for them, and hold on to your seats.
Because it's going to get ugly.
Well, one, because you don't want to be groped by a state legislator, so hold on to your seat. But then two, also, there will be a lot of casualties, I would suggest, political casualties, if the boorish behavior or worse of politicians in Springfield, if that starts to get the kind of scrutiny that, frankly, it should have gotten for a long time, if you actually have people be as specific as Ms. Rothheimer was.
I know. I wish we could talk about the stories that we know, but they're
it's just
unsubstantiated, I guess. I've heard one side of the story from one person, and I just have to get the other side of the story from the other person. But do you think I should send my divorce attorney over to the Silverstein household this morning, or do you think they're going to make it, Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't he 67 years old, older?
Yeah.
Older guy.
I wonder how.
Hitting on a young hottie, asking her about her six-pack.
Yeah, I wonder.
Where could that conversation lead to?
Somebody should ask Mrs. Silverstein about that. As somebody should ask the legislator who told a staffer that he wanted to mentor her and that he and his wife had an open marriage. I want his wife queried about whether or not she thinks they have an open marriage. That's the kind of stuff. I mean, get ready.
But what did you call Springfield? Spring Vegas?
That's what it's been called for a long time. George and Monique.
Hey, Dan, I'm an Illinois taxpayer property owner, and I've been getting screwed for years. Can I claim sexual harassment, or who do I file it with?
Yes. Okay, George. Thank you. By the way, a related story. Since we're gonna pay attention to what's going on in Springfield when the issue is salacious, right? Because that's fun to talk about. That's all personalities and bad people doing bad things, and we'll talk about that. What about the policy? Both sides, because both sides, generally speaking, with some exceptions, adhere to this idea: throw more money at K through 12 education. That's a good thing. Both Spalding has a commercial talking about more money for K through 12. Sleazy Rider, Ronner, has a commercial touting how much more money he's gotten for K through 12 education. Yeah. Keep spending more money. That's why you have the highest property taxes in the nation. What are you getting for it? You ever going to connect the dots, Illinois families, that the inputs aren't connected to the outputs when it comes to K through 12 education? Park test scores out this week. Less than 40% of Illinois high schoolers met state standards on the new Park exam. On the Park exam given to elementary school students, grades 3 to 8, students saw scores rise slightly on the reading portion. 37% meet state standards. On math, 31%. So, and by the way, in CPS, 26%. But boy, it's going great. And hey, we're throwing more money into it, just like we did again with that deal recently. So yay. I'm for education. I mean the inputs, so not the outputs. I don't care if students are actually learn anything. I don't care if students are prepared for high school or post-secondary work or the workforce. I don't care about that. I'm just content with my good feelings about me, my self-esteem, about supporting ever more money for K through 12 education, regardless of outcome. K through 12 spending in this state gone up at a 45-degree angle the last 2.5 decades. And what do we have to show for it? We have more politicians promising more of your home equity for schools that are not improving in terms of the quality of the students they're producing. And it's not just Chicago. Obviously, these are statewide numbers, other than the last one I mentioned was a CPS number. So snap out of it, suburban families who watching the local government take your home from you, destroying home value. Snap out of it. Take a hard look at who's in Springfield and what they're doing to your livelihood, your investments, your child's education while they're playing grab ass down there, wantedly or unwantedly.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today, it's going to be raw and just chilly out there. Mostly cloudy, a high of 48. Rain likely coming in the early evenings and sticking around overnight. Thursday, though, we have a 50% chance of showers, but it's going to be warmer, a little humid, actually, too. A high near 60 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy and Dan on the near north side. Clark Street has just reopened between Oak and Walton after a major early morning wreck. Oak Street remains blocked. Investigation between LaSalle and State. Eden's 25 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24th. Kennedy, 40 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 38. Eisenhower looking at 52 minutes. 390 to the post office. 37 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 41 minutes out to 390. The eastern stretch, the new leg of 390, set to open at noon, which will extend to 83. Stevenson, 53 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 47. High in 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound tri-state delays from 115th to 87th. From the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Reagan Tollway stop and go 22nd to the tri-state. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Blue Dimes, the country awaiting the president's decision on who will be the next Fed chair. Kellogg shares log the best day since 2009. Hilton settles legal action over data breaches. Those stories next. Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or a business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. As the Federal Reserve wraps up its two-day meeting in Washington, it appears all but certain that President Trump tomorrow will appoint Fed board member Jerome Powell as his next Fed chairman. Iconic cereal maker Kellogg surprising investors with its first quarterly sales increase in 2 years, and its shares went on to post the best performance since the 2008 financial crisis. Economic reports due out today, including updates on construction spending and manufacturing. Hilton Worldwide has settled with 360,000 credit card holders whose information was compromised in a cyber attack in 2014 and later in 2015. Hilton admits it needed to step up its cybersecurity to protect its guests. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show each morning. Podcast of Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics. The show that airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. My 60 Seconds of Sanity, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. Follow the Logic Man in the Street segments, as well as our new series, Heart of the Matter, featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impacts on families and household budgets. And then our sister site, I was just sort of alluding to it in our discussion of test scores and school funding, defendhomeowners.com. defendhomeowners.com. You get a free property tax report on your home, the implications of the highest property taxes in the nation on the largest investment most people make in their life. And there's also the opportunity to download a petition to help us gather the necessary signatures to get an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would seek to change the way we do property taxation in Illinois, return your home equity to you by drastically reducing property taxes. You can find all the property tax details at defendhomeowners.com. and everything else at upstream-ideas.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
By the time I reached 1 year period, I had lost 2 inches off my waist, and I lost 17 pounds.
I think they're part of the reason that I was able to shake 10 pounds, and I think because the support, nutritional support. My blood pressure is significantly so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
You've got a good product. It's just amazing.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
So many tools all over the place and not enough cabinet space. This garage is a mess. Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA in Kankakee with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call the owner, Mike Ryan, personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STORLOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. You'll save big when you visit StoreLock in person at the FabTech show at McCormick Place, Chicago, November 6th through the 9th. Check them out.
Ever wonder how marketing got so complicated? When you're a large company with a national presence, you expect things like the execution of marketing materials, displays, and branded merchandise to just work. But marketing departments are buried in figuring out how to get displays to stores while fielding calls from frustrated customers and salespeople, instead of focusing on the next big idea to stay ahead of the curve. It's tough to grow a business that way. Madden has a different method. They take on the day-to-day project management, procurement, logistics, and customer service, letting your team focus on innovation. Madden is the expert in promotional marketing and merchandising. They take the most complex campaigns and make them simple to execute and manage. And it can save you up to 35% in total process improvement for your marketing and supply chain. Get in touch with Madden today and make your complex promotions and marketing campaigns simple. It's time to get focused. All the info you need to get started is at Madden.com. Madden.com.
All that extra weight is messing with your health, your sleep, your social life, even your love life. Time to take control. I'm Dr. Frank Marticello, and that's exactly what I did. I always worked out, worked hard, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose that weight. I then saw a picture of myself, and that's what did it. I had to search for a solution. I found the ideal method. I lost 80 pounds, opened Total Life Weight Loss, and that was 9 years ago, and I've kept it off. Listen to this.
I hated being on meds needed only because I was overweight. I was tired of being tired and wearing black all the time. So I turned to Total Life Weight Loss. It was truly a life changer. Total Life Weight Loss gave me support and strategies to get rid of the weight and maintain my new current weight. I love the way I look and feel.
This is a medically developed protocol that helps you lose weight fast, get healthy, and keep it off for life. Call Total Life Weight Loss now at 708-695-5999 to book your free metabolic assessment or attend one of our free educational workshops. Again, that's 708-695-5999.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So your son got home safe last night? Tom said he had a flat tire.
Yeah, he was out past curfew and got stuck on Route 1, but Liberty Mutual went out and took care of it for him.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, a flat, jump, or tow. It's no problem no matter where or when with their roadside assistance.
What was he doing out so late anyway?
Getting himself grounded for a month.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Spearphishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearphishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearphishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
AM 560, The Answer.
So, Amy, I'd like you to wear those fetching pearls that you're sporting today on Monday.
Why?
When you come to lunch to hear me speak at Maggiano's before the August City Club of Chicago.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've got you penciled in.
Talk about Illinois politics. It's noon at City Club of Chicago, Maggiano's downtown. You can go to cityclub-chicago.org if you want to purchase tickets. You know, I'll even
Will you leave
flip for your lunch.
Will you?
Yeah.
Seriously, will
like,
the ticket be a will call?
Like $35.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that'd be very nice of you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll wear my Barbara Bush starter kit.
Right, and I'll have the chicken parm ready for you.
Winner, chicken dinner. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, this is interesting. It's about your money and the continued existence of it in its current form. We're going to get a little bit of a tutorial on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and what any of those words mean at 7:07 with Scott Diamond.
And, of course, we'll keep an eye on the New York terrorist attack, and investigators are speaking with the suspect. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Dave Stewart in for Mike Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Among the stories we're watching today, no bail for an Elgin man accused of killing his mother and cutting up her body. And Chicago police are ramping up security after the New York attack. WIND Chicago, 37 degrees.
We must get tougher and smarter.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tweets about the New York City terror attack.
We just looked outside the window and they were just laying there like dead. And they weren't even covered yet.
8 people were killed when a man drove a truck into people along a bike path. 11 others were injured. Then police shot and wounded the suspect, Saifullah Saipov.
Police found in and around the vehicle which the suspect had driven, that rented Home Depot truck, notes written in Arabic pledging allegiance to ISIS.
Fox's Shepard Smith. The president has ordered Homeland Security to step up already extreme vetting. He also wrote the terrorist came into our country through what is called the Diversity Visa Lottery Program, a Chuck Schumer beauty, taking a dig at the Senate's Democratic leader. The president adds he wants a merit-based system. Police across the river at Saipov's home in New Jersey.
A number of residences, as well as Saipov's apartment where he lived with his wife and 2 kids, were raided overnight, as well as a number of storefronts in this area. I can tell you that the Omar Mosque has been on the NYPD's radar, even though we're in New Jersey, since 2005.
Fox's Rob Schmidt in Patterson. Saipov came here from Uzbekistan in 2010. The president of that country sending a letter of condolences to President Trump, saying Uzbekistan is ready to use all its resources to help in the investigation. The father of a first-grade girl shot dead at her elementary school by a SWAT team in California after he took her 70-year-old teacher hostage in an hours-long standoff.
The negotiators hadn't had any contact or heard anything from the victim herself.
So Riverside police officer Ryan Railsback says that's why they entered the school and shot the man. His family said he had an emotional breakdown. The Dodgers get even in the World Series. LA beat Houston 3-1.
Never been a part of a Game 7.
That's Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. It'll be a first for most of his players. And the Astros, the series finale, Game 7 will be tonight. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 37 degrees in Chicago. It's 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. For Mike Scott, I'm David Stewart. Clouds and an afternoon shower today. We'll see a high of 47. The judge has denied bail for an Elgin man accused of killing his mother and dumping her dismembered body in a Chicago lagoon. Brian Peck charged yesterday with murdering Gail Peck. Police Chief Jeff Swoboda of Elgin says they became suspicious of his story that the 76-year-old woman disappeared last week.
Over the course of the next few days, detectives determined that Brian Peck was ultimately responsible for killing his mother and discarding her body, and that the remains found in the Chicago lagoon were that of Gail Peck.
Brian Peck reportedly killed his mother because she complained that he played his music too loud. Chicago police say there is no known threat to the city after yesterday's terror attack in New York City. However, the police department is heightening security in crowded areas out of an abundance of caution. Those areas include the Mag Mile and Navy Pier. A victims' rights advocates accusing State Senator Ira Silverstein of sexual harassment. Denise Rothheimer claims the Chicago Democrat harassed her while they worked together on legislation.
He would have meetings with me because he liked to look at me. He thought I was pretty. He would tell me I'm intoxicating, I'm intimidating, I look like a movie star.
Rothheimer made that allegation yesterday at a House committee hearing here in Chicago. Silverstein's apologized but denies sexually harassing the woman. Speculation continues to swirl around the death of Kanika Jenkins after her mother and sister appeared on the Dr. Oz show. Dr. Oz and Nancy Grace questioned the police investigation and offered theories that the Chicago woman could have been drugged or kidnapped. Jenkins was found dead in a Rosemont hotel freezer in September. Governor Rauner is not America's least favorite governor, but he is in the bottom 5. Morning Consult released its list, and Rauner is the 5th least popular. The poll says 55% of Illinois voters disapprove of Rauner's job. Just 30% are happy with him. New Jersey's Chris Christie, the least popular. Just 18% of voters there think that he's doing a good job. In sports, in the NBA, the Bulls are at the Miami Heat tonight. In hockey, the Hawks are hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. News and service of LBJ the Movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film, LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. This Friday in theaters everywhere, rated R. AM 560 News Times 7:04. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Sean Hannity explains how Trump is getting business done.
He's not just sitting around doing nothing, and he's literally, systematically just striking down one Obama policy after another and chipping away at all the damage that Obama did. And if he can't get Congress, the House and Senate to get along, then all right, well, then he's going to do everything he can do on his own.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. Choosing the right mortgage lender involves much more than just a rate. Quicken Loans has earned 11 J.D. Power Awards for client satisfaction. And we invented Rocket Mortgage, a simpler, hassle-free way to get a mortgage completely online. No one else has anything like it. So choose Quicken Loans, America's #1 online lender. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030.
Hey, yeah, this is Petco. And your dog just called? This is awkward, but he wanted me to let you know we just lowered our prices on dog food and that he prefers something a little healthier.
At Petco, we believe price should never be a barrier to better nutrition. That's why we have new everyday low prices. Visit Petco today to chat with one of our nutrition specialists or go to petco.com to see for yourself.
Also, he said he'd really appreciate it if you would stop doing that weird thing in front of the mirror.
At 7:06 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thank you, David and Joliet. Eastbound 30 is closed from the frontage road to I-55. There's a crash. Gold Coast, Clark has reopened. So has Oak after that major early morning wreck. Eden's inbound delay started 2 weeks. 30 minutes, Lake Oak to Montrose. Outbound 29. Kennedy, 48 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 23 from Montrose, 21 to the Express. Outbound 26 minutes to Montrose, 52 to the airport. Inbound Eisenhower, 57 minutes, 390 to the post office, 41 from Manheim. Outbound 51 to Thorndale, or 2390, which now will extend east to 83 starting at noon today. Stevenson, 58 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 48. Mount Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound clear. I-57 is a 36-minute drive from I-80 to Merge. Bishop Ford, 35. Northbound Tri-State delays. Southwest Highway to 31st. Now from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway slow Midwest to York with a crash in the right lane. Veterans Memorial slow Boughton to the Reagan Tollway and Butterfield to St. Charles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
We'll have more of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, cloudy, breezy, and chilly with a shower in spots in the afternoon, high 47. Mostly cloudy with a shower around until after midnight tonight, low 44. Mostly cloudy and milder with a brief shower or two tomorrow, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
37 degrees at the lakefront, 38 at Midway, 37 at O'Hare. Next news, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560. Explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. It's a little bit of a financial literacy segment. Important. You're going to find out just how important Bitcoin is. Of course, I think a lot of people have, most people have heard of it. Certainly people listening to this show have heard of it. But, I mean, how much do you really understand about it, where currency's going? We have folks that don't necessarily believe in the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, much less any other government. And so fiat money is something that they wanted to get away from, thus, the hearkening back to the gold standard. Perhaps stockpiling gold in these times because you don't believe in monetary policy at the federal level in this country. Well, Bitcoin, this cryptocurrency, as it's termed, has exploded. Over the last 4 years, it's gone from virtually zero in terms of dollar value to today, as we're talking.
Drum roll, because this is shocking.
One Bitcoin, if I would have bought one Bitcoin 4 years ago, I could be out of here. One Bitcoin is worth $6,588.
$6,588.
Yeah.
And you could have bought a Bitcoin for what, $200?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
I mean, you'd
I'd be
on Easy Street. You'd have all the volleyballs you want.
I would. I'd have a new used minivan.
So exactly, yeah.
Not the old minivan.
You could have bought a minivan like that was made in the 2000s.
I know.
Yeah, that'd be nice, huh?
Uh-huh.
That's living. Well,
The doors would work and everything.
why is Bitcoin exploded? What is it? Should you buy Bitcoin? Should you traffic in Bitcoin? For answers to all these questions and more, we're pleased to be joined by Scott Diamond, who has become a cryptocurrency expert. He's a partner with Ronin Partners, RONIN Partners, roninpartners.org, experts in this field. And Scott, thanks for joining us. Your story is interesting because I think when I first met you, you were doing staffing, medical staffing, right?
Correct.
And then you ventured off into this arena of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Explain the transition.
Well, for most people in this space, they have serendipitous stories on how they got here, and really mine was more reading about all the bad stuff that Bitcoin was associated with. And the more that I was reading, the more that I realized is that all of the bad press that preceded, my knowledge of it was really based on really the human condition and not market conditions.
So who created Bitcoin?
So Bitcoin was actually created anonymously. This goes back to really the 1970s when people were starting to understand that, trying to figure out digital ways of moving money. So a group of folks that were loosely banded in message boards called the cypherpunks were using cryptography and mathematics to try to solve the double spend problem, which is essentially if you have something that's digital, it's ultimately infinitely copyable for virtually free, which makes it really bad for money when a 12-year-old can counterfeit it. So a gentleman, most likely, could have been a group of people, could have been a female, but identified themselves throughout this ecosystem and this message boards as Satoshi Nakamoto, which was obviously a pseudonym. But at that point, Satoshi was the one who started solving these problems mathematically and cryptographically, and in January 3rd, 2009, launched Bitcoin to the world. And it was really just more of a social experiment. I believe that Satoshi was more a mathematician and not a computer science person.
Well, so it's interesting because Cypherpunks was my high school band name. It was a Joy Division cover band. I was the lead singer. I went by the name Satoshi.
Satoshi.
So it's just weird. It's eerie, the coincidence.
Main character of Heroes too, right? Soshi Nakamura.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Well, actually, tell your professional story because I think it speaks to this sector. You went from the staffing company because you had this interaction with your CEO, and explain what happened.
Well, back then, of course, I couldn't predict the future, but the more that I started to learn, the more confidence that I had that there were some opportunities, and I kind of facetiously was throwing out suggestions that we should put our line of credit as a private business to work in this space, and was immediately and consistently shot down, which was probably maybe the most responsible thing to say at the time. So, but as I learned more, I decided that I wanted to start putting my own personal capital to work in this space because I really started believing what the future could be.
And at the time, you wanted to put like $1 million of that line of credit into
that's
Bitcoin?
That's what I threw out there. It's like, hey, let's take $1 million at 2% and try to throw it at this space.
And what would that be worth today?
Well, the way that things were being diversified, it would have probably been in the $35 to $40 million space.
Oh, that's
Yeah, 35x return is not bad
that's
over
not bad.
a few years.
So what supports the value of Bitcoin?
Well, that's a great question, and honestly, that's one of the most fascinating learnings that I think just about anybody who gets into the space is what supports the value of anything. The value that we give gold, the value that you give anything else, is really just kind of a shared human illusion. But it works when groups of people get together and they share the same illusion. What supports the value of Bitcoin? You're seeing it today. It's people who are committing their time, effort, and resources to build an ecosystem. And to those who say Bitcoin doesn't have any value, I say, well, here, why don't we first talk about defending government fiat money systems and fractional reserve banking, and just juxtapose that against what Bitcoin offers.
So what does that ecosystem look like? In other words, where can you transact in Bitcoin? How much is it growing in terms of an actual currency to exchange goods and services?
Yeah, and that's probably the most interesting part about it is because every day there are literally tens of thousands of people who are being exposed to this idea, and everybody is kind of self-educating themselves right now. And that's where you have more and more people is creating more and more demand, and the Bitcoin supply is strictly limited by computer code and can't be manipulated. So when you have restricted supply and increasing demand, that's a pretty simple economic message around why the price is going up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, how can Bitcoin be regulated?
Well, so cryptocurrencies in general, whenever they are open sourced, they are essentially borderless, meaning that there is no real jurisdictional opportunity to be able to regulate it. Now, you can regulate companies that are working within your borders that are dealing within the exchange of Bitcoin, but the actual Bitcoin network is not regulatable, I guess, is the comment. So, and the other thing too, I kind of want to touch on is the fact that Bitcoin is more of an idea in terms of something that's not really physical. So obviously it's computer code, but Bitcoin, when you talk about one Bitcoin, what you're really talking about is a 100 million subparts of programmable code that are grouped together, and then people just call that Bitcoin. So you're not actually going out there and buying physical Bitcoin.
Right.
What you're doing is you're laying claim on the open ledger system that you now have control over 100 million subparts, which brings a lot of cool opportunities to do microtransactions where you really have the streaming of money. I think new financial services are going to start blowing up in a good way, where you're going to be able to find, say your children or grandchildren will be able to get a mortgage that they pay back every 60 seconds versus once every 30 days, where paychecks and the streaming of value can actually happen in very small incremental terms, and they can do it within a ledger system.
And so how is it? It's transparent and anonymous, these transactions, right? Because it's coded.
It is, and it is transparent in terms of that anybody can see any transaction, but the accounts are just jumbled numbers and letters, so there's not personal identity that are attached to the accounts. Now, there are ways of being able to backtrack transactions because eventually at some point you are coming off of the U.S. financial rails and getting into the Bitcoin space. So my accounts are, my bank account, my Chase account is attached to a physical entity here in the United States that I use called Coinbase, and then I move those funds off chain. So there is a way for people to go back, but for you and me, I wouldn't be able to understand who's who.
Well, and so what are the types of transactions that are happening where Bitcoin is becoming more popular to use? I mean, is it people, a convenience store perhaps in another country is accepting Bitcoin for payment for, chips in a pop? I mean, is that stuff happening?
It's happening outside of the first world financial areas. So certainly there's not a lot of,
Retail.
medium of exchange type use cases in the first world. So that's absolutely kind of going to happen over time. You see here Overstock.com is pretty much the thought leader in this space in the United States. But certainly the use cases that are already apparent are really cross-border remittances, where people can move money to family and friends off of the financial rails that are taking 15, 20, 25% in some cases.
So I mean, I just wanted to make that clear because this is more than just an investment. I mean, you buy gold. I mean, yes, you can translate that, but it's really an investment. It's a hedge, right? Gold is a hedge against inflation. Is Bitcoin similar?
Absolutely. The biggest use case right now in the first financial world, as I call it, is really the store of value, and that's what people have historically looked at gold as being for the last 5,000 years. But once you start understanding that when you have programmable money, you can't email gold. You can't subdivide gold into 100 million subparts and give it away. You have to store gold. You have to pay people to store gold. You have to pay commissions in order to acquire it. Gold is being valued right now at $9 trillion globally. There's no way of taking an audit of gold. You don't know how much gold is actually out there in the world. Governments hold it. They hold it and they don't share information. Lots of famous stories of gold going missing and not being able to be returned intra-country. So really, Bitcoin is so transparent, it's going to revolutionize, I believe, a lot of things.
Why are there so many other versions of cryptocurrencies?
Well, naturally, as Bitcoin got started, Satoshi put in a very, very strict what's called a consensus mechanism, which means that you have to have a very high degree of agreement within the community before hard changes can be made to the system.
Okay.
A lot of people look at that as being one of the, kind of a hindrance or a drawback for Bitcoin. So what people are trying to do is create other ecosystems that serve the same meaning, but they do so under different rules, which are easier to change. Now, the challenge with that, and why I'm more of a Bitcoin maximalist than anything else, is that now you have humans involved. Satoshi did a brilliant thing when he walked away from Bitcoin, because in 2012, he basically dropped the mic, and he had 1 million Bitcoin that he had mined for the first 2.5 years, and he has it sitting on an open account that anybody can see, and it's basically an opportunity to be able to say, this system is so secure. Right now, as of the pricing today, that's $6.5 billion of value that's just sitting out there for anybody to grab if they could, but you can't, because that's where you start understanding the security of the system.
Well, so the competition for other cryptocurrencies and the problems there, also in terms of the value, and so the continued attractiveness of this as it increases in value. So there's 16 million Bitcoins in circulation, but it's capped at something like 21 million. And so what's the kind of future store of value do you see based on that cap?
Well, one thing to consider is that Bitcoin as currency is really just the first application. The analogy that most people use is that nobody really understood the internet until they experienced email, and then they could kind of understand what it meant to be able to move data packets over telephony lines at the time. So that's what's going to happen here, is that there is an entire army, mostly a volunteer army of people that are developing other applications that are going to sit on top of Bitcoin that are going to be able to revolutionize anything, digitizing, real estate titles, doing a whole bunch of things, which is going to open up a new area of finance because the flexibility that it allows.
And so where the value of Bitcoin goes based on the scarcity of it.
Well, supply and demand. So the way that Bitcoin is actually released into the marketplace by code is that every 10 minutes there are a group of essentially volunteers, but they do get compensated with Bitcoin, which actually solves the math problem, which provides the security to the Bitcoin network, and they're called miners. So every 10 minutes, 12.5 Bitcoin are released into that community, and that is meant to be able to be given to them so that they can then liquidate it for their fiat currency, so that they can pay for their hardware, they can pay for their staff. Every 4 years, that amount goes down. So for the first 4 years, it was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Then it was 25. Now we're in the 12.5 range. In the year 2020, probably late June, early July of 2020, it's going to have again. So it'll be, I guess, 6.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. But then the miners also collect fees, transaction fees. So that provides the economic incentive for people to join, and by more people joining into that system, it decentralizes, which again adds more and more security to the system.
So you've got that happening, the kind of the slow release over the next 100 years of Bitcoin, the remaining Bitcoin to be released, to be mined and released, and then you've got the blockchain technology. I guess that's what they call it, with respect to some of the other applications that are being developed to build off of Bitcoin.
Correct. I mean, Bitcoin really, kind of paved the way for other people to be able to say, okay, decentralized ledger technologies, blockchain technologies, we see where the security is, we see where the efficiencies are. Now let's start building applications within our own industry or within our own business. So there are a lot of things that aren't really cryptocurrencies. In fact, actually, I prefer using the term crypto assets in terms of a store of value.
Make a note of that,
because not everything, not everything is meant to be a currency. Right now, in the Wild West heydays that we're experiencing today, things are maintaining a store of value, but I don't believe that that's going to continue. I believe that there'll be a few winners and a lot of losers.
So Bitcoin's at $6,500 a Bitcoin today. Where do you see it going in 2 years, 5 years?
Well, that's always the sexy question, I guess.
Yes, I want to know.
Provocative.
I want to know. I'm scraping together my Bitcoin investment money.
Well, when I was
give me for Christmas,
yeah,
one
right.
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
Maybe 1/10 of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, which you can get. I mean, you could literally buy a penny worth of Bitcoin. I mean, the transaction fees doesn't make it reasonable, but you can do it because you can subdivide a quote-unquote Bitcoin 100 million ways.
Oh, so you're saying I have a chance.
Yeah.
You're saying you have a chance.
1/100 millionth for Christmas.
Exactly. So, yeah, no, I mean, from a price prediction standpoint, I was, you know, a year ago we were sitting at, you know, probably about a year ago today, about $600, and I was easily seeing the future being, you know, 3,500 to 4,000, and people were laughing at me. And then as the, you know, the turn of the year, well, yeah. So my phone does blow up now because now everybody who's been laughing at me for 3 years is now want to be my best friend.
Right.
And, you know, the sky's the limit. I tell people it's like if people value gold, which is really just a shiny rock that's manipulated and unauditable, and the global finance world values that as $9 trillion. Well, if Bitcoin's even half that, which I believe is possible, and you divide that against the emission rate of 144 new Bitcoin every single day, you're looking at $225,000, $250,000 Bitcoin. So I do tell people it's like,
wow,
this is absolutely mind blowing in terms of where this can go.
All right. Get Reisman on the phone. I want my my salary paid in Bitcoin from this point forward. He is Scott Diamond, our new best friend as well. He is a partner at Ronin Partners, RONIN Partners, roninpartners.org if you want more information about this, because one of the things you do is you and your partners go around educating business people about this technology, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a new technology, so it's creating a new language. Go back to 1850 and start talking to people about airbags and analog brakes, and nobody would know what you're talking about. So new technology creates new language, and the one thing is that you're not going to be able to put yourself in a position of making responsible business decisions tomorrow unless you become fluent in the language today. So that's really our leading, kind of use case for our services is essentially just executive education, because you got to get smart first before you dive in. And I certainly tell people, don't run around with your hair on fire that you're missing something, because this is forever. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle and it's not going away. So the opportunities are there for individuals, for private companies, for public companies. Look at what Overstock is doing. Those guys are brilliant.
Scott Diamond, thank you so much for the Bitcoin tutorial. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
La 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 ka-ching.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Order today.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover lost or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to Square Trade phone protection instead for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting 2 phones for the price of 1. Square Trade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to Square Trade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to Square Trade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville. A safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop, Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah, good text from 847 about our conversation on currency. What supported the price of tulips in the 1600s? It's what people were willing to pay. Yes, that's it. Very good.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the tax plan has been put on hold for a day. We'll begin there with Stephen Moore. But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mr. Stewart, who's sitting in for Mr. Scott Sands, his appendix.
And Dave Stewart, I understand, has a fully functioning appendix.
I do, so at least at this point in the shift. It's 37 degrees in Chicago, 731 on AM 560, The Answer. Clouds and an afternoon shower today. Look for a high of 47. After yesterday's truck attack that killed 8 in Lower Manhattan, New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo is directing state agencies to increase their presence at high-profile locations like airports, bridges, tunnels, and mass transit. Suspect, a 29-year-old from Uzbekistan who was shot and wounded by police. Grief counselors are on duty today at several New York City schools near the Tribeca site of the terror attack. Many students either saw or were affected by the carnage.
They were all there in a gym on lockdown. They kept them calm. They had them all separated by classes. And, everyone was very nervous, but it was all handled very, very professionally.
That's middle school parent Tim Reed praising teachers and school officials who managed to keep students fairly calm. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez says he and some of his colleagues plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump.
I and a group of colleagues, some of which are members of the Judiciary Committee, will put those before the Congress of the United States. I think it is time that we began to have that conversation in the United States of America.
Gutierrez told the City Club of Chicago that Trump is unfit to serve. A judge will not be assigning a special prosecutor to investigate a deadly police shooting in Chicago back in 2011. The father of Flint Farmer had requested another probe into his son's death. Flint was unarmed when he was shot and killed by former Chicago police officer Gildardo Sierra. Thousands of people who get their health insurance through the state's Obamacare exchange can start that enrollment process. Open enrollment begins today, will last through the 15th of December. In sports, Dodgers over the Astros 3-1, forcing a Game 7 in the World Series tonight. In the NBA, the Bulls are in Miami to face the Heat. In hockey, the Blackhawks host the Philadelphia Flyers. News and service of Discover Card. Discover Card alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. It's just another way that they look after you, not just your account. It's free for card members, so just sign up online at discover.com/free alerts and limitations apply. AM 560 News Time 7:33. We'll check traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I manage a construction site, and the other morning we had to send half of the crew home because of missing equipment. This nonsense is cutting into my time and budget.
Here's what you need to know. Alarm Detection Systems offers mobile security solutions that expand with your project. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 to find out about our alarm and video protection. License number 127000143.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your big, bulky CPAP device with you whenever you leave home? Yeah, well, I was too. That's why I'm so glad I called to try the Transcend Mini CPAP for 10 nights. I can't imagine living without it now. My Transcend is smaller than a soda can and weighs less than a pound. That's less hassle to carry than my shaving kit. Plus, I was able to add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. But hey, that's not all. Transcend is FAA compliant too, which means I can finally sleep comfortably while flying. Heck, I can sleep comfortably anywhere now. So if that all sounds good to you, call now to give Transcend a try. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the life-changing freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. To receive your risk-free 10-night trial, call now. 1-800-400-8168. Again, that's 1-800-400-8168. 1-800-400-8168.
At 7:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David Edens. Inbound at Dempster, the crash just reported, and it's heavy Peterson to the junction. 25 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 35. Kennedy, 49 minutes O'Hare to downtown, outbound 55. The Eisenhower is a 61-minute drive from 390 to the post office, outbound 59 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 58 minutes. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound all clear. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop Ford 32. Tri-State delays are northbound from Southwest Highway to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Reagan Tollway delays 31 to Eola, and then mill most of the way to York after a crash. Veterans Memorial is heavy, from Mountain to the Reagan Tollway and Butterfield to St. Charles. Traffic is a service of CiCi's. Want to taste the sauced and tossed flavors of CiCi's wings on your pizza? Well, now you can. New wing-inspired pizzas with honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and buffalo chicken. Now on CiCi's buffet for just $5 and change. Prices may vary at participating locations for a limited time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer comes next, but now the forecast. Cloudy, breezy, and chilly today with a shower in spots this afternoon, a high 47. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower around until after midnight, low 44. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, milder, maybe a brief shower, and a high of 56. Right now, 37 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 8 o'clock. Get continuous coverage of the latest news, traffic, and weather at 560theanswer.com. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show, a show about the greatest financial crime in history. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. New poll out, Cato Institute's 2017 Free Speech and Tolerance Survey. National poll, 2,300 U.S. adults find 71% of Americans believe political correctness has silenced important discussions our society needs to have. As such, 58% of Americans believe the political climate prevents them from sharing their own political beliefs. In other words, 58% of Americans are afraid to share their political views. Are you one of them? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. I mean, if you're on a college campus, I understand because you're going to be pilloried. Maybe in the workplace too, maybe in just everyday life. Are you afraid to share your political beliefs in your everyday life more than half the country is? And what does that say about the quality of our discourse in the 21st century?
Well, for some people, I mean, it's still a volatile situation because you still have, some on the left wing, your liberal friends that are still processing the election. They don't understand why you're even a member of the Republican Party, and you're afraid that if you say your views, you might lose your volunteer job, might get kicked out of your church. I mean, Lord,
that's too much to risk, huh?
Well, for me, right now, yeah, that's, it's one of my passions. I love coaching, and I would hate to lose my job because of maybe where I work. But even what happened to Milo? Milo was last night at Cal State Fullerton, and he had a half-hour speech. The campus Republican group hired him to come and speak. 8 people were arrested, including a woman, are you ready for this, who was trying to break a window to get to him to physically shut him up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she was screaming.
Yeah.
And she was taken into custody and charged with attempted assault.
Well,
I mean, that is sick.
No, this is easily resolved, and those who are afraid to speak up are easily rolled over. Is Emma Jing, who is a student at the University of California, Santa Barbara, the Gauchos. She has written an op-ed. This is not unique. It's just another example, calling for the abolition of the First Amendment.
Oh, really?
Other democratic countries don't have totally free speech. In Germany, for example, it's illegal to deny the Holocaust. So because Germany does it, we should do it. Okay. Interesting logical continuum. With two different ends of the spectrum, there should be a fine line where free speech stops being a right and starts being a threat to the very idea of America. Free speech should allow the country to grow and change for the better, and movements that try to oppress, disenfranchise, and strip minorities of their freedom to pursue happiness and success, their free speech is not guaranteed by the Bill of Rights. In other words, kind of translate that. In other words, if you disagree with me, your free speech rights should be eliminated. Oh, by the way, so should your family. If you're white, City of New York sociology professor Jesse Daniels said yesterday tweeted that the white nuclear family promotes white supremacy. So we have to get rid of the white nuclear family while we're getting rid of free speech rights for people who don't hew to the cultural Marxist orthodoxy. I just thought you should know. But hey, maybe you'll get your tax cuts. We'll get the answer to that question from Steve Moore, senior economist or chief economist of the Heritage Foundation, senior economist for CNN. Wall Street Journal columnist Steve joins us now. Steve, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hi, guys. It looks like that today was supposed to be the big day for tax reform, but they put it off by a day. The House Ways and Means Committee will now release its plan tomorrow because I think they've got a few more details to iron out. One of which is that state and local tax deduction. What to do about that?
What is that the sole sticking point?
I don't know all the sticking points. What they're trying to do is cram a $4 trillion tax cut into $1.5 trillion box. So that's a bit of a Houdini trick they're trying to do. What I've told them they have to do is assume that we're going to get 3% growth. And by the way, the economy is already growing at 3%. We had an awesome number that came out on Thursday or Friday of last week that the economy grew at 3% despite the hurricanes. We would probably have 4% growth, Dan and Amy, if it had not been for the hurricanes, which is amazing because, I seem to remember about this time last year, every liberal economist in the country said, Trump is lying. He's lying when he says we can get to 3% growth. That's impossible. How could it happen? We never got to 3% growth under Obama, so how is Trump going to do it? Well, it's happening. By the way, a great irony, by the way, Dan, you'll appreciate this one. So this week's Time Magazine cover, I don't know if you've seen it, is Trump is dismantling government. And, that's said as a negative thing, right? And so the week that they have that headline, Trump is dismantling government, we have this awesome GDP report where the economy is growing. Gee, do you think there might be a relationship there?
Yeah, Butterfield effect.
So this new tax plan, I keep hearing from the Democrats, and I don't know, from different voices, how is it going to affect everyone's retirement?
Retirement? Well, that's a great question because there was actually that relates to what Dan was asking me about, what are the sticking points. One of them is what to do about these 401k plans. Now, I think, I don't know what you guys think, but I think it is insane for Republicans to be going after people's 401k accounts. I mean, these are retirement accounts. They're a way for people to build up personal wealth, get invested in the stock market so everybody can enjoy this $5 trillion increase in valuations that's happened since Trump was elected. When you have 55 million people who have these accounts, these allow you to put your money into these accounts tax-free. They're popular with voters, and they're a good way to build up, savings and wealth and retirement income. And God knows that we're not going to be able to retire on Social Security. So I don't understand the logic of going after 401ks. I don't think in the end they're going to touch the the 401k plans.
What about the logic of a higher rate for at the top?
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I mean, in fact, I just wrote a piece for the Wall Street Journal saying, look, if you have to, get more money out of rich people, to pay for the plan, don't raise the rates. Get rid of the deductions. This is an amazing story. nobody's talking about this, but did you guys see the story? It was about a week and a half ago that George Soros is putting $18 billion, not 18 million, $18 billion dollars into a family foundation, that is Open Society Foundation, which is what funds things like great groups like Media Matters and Black Lives Matter and Antifa. That's $18 billion that has never been taxed. It's all unrealized capital gains that will now flow into this family foundation. By the way, he'll be able to, to employ his family members, his pals, his friends, his grandkids, all of them with tax-free money. That's absurd. Close that billionaire loophole and make Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and the Koch brothers and those guys, when they make them pay the tax on the capital gains of their appreciated stock. That's a way to pay for this tax cut.
What about also just with respect to that top rate, if you want to kind of play a little bit of class envy politics, which there seems to be an appetite to do from the Trump administration, why don't you just leave it at 39.6% and reduce everybody else's?
I think that's what they're going to end up doing. And if you do that, look, as an economist, supply sider from the Wall Street Journal, Laffer, Ronald Reagan School, I mean, the tax rate that matters the most is the highest one, right? Because that's the one that affects everyone at the margin. Everyone who pays that 39.6%, it's the marginal rate. So if you're not going to cut that, then I would just go back to the Larry Kudlow, Steve Moore idea of just double the standard deduction. And then concentrate on the heart and soul of the plan, which is to lower those business taxes to bring businesses and jobs back to the United States. I guarantee you that's going to happen. And my worry, Dan, right now, we started with 15%. When Larry and I wrote the original plan for Trump, 15% corporate rate. Trump always insisted upon that, by the way. He always said 15% rate for all businesses. And then, of course, the negotiators have negotiated that up to 20%. And I'm worried that that's just the opening bid. Now it's going to go to 22, 24, 25, and then, you're going to kind of neuter the whole economic effect of the plan. And you may have seen that France and 2 or 3 other European countries just announced they're cutting their corporate rates. So, we're not catching up with them if we only cut our rate to, say, 25%.
So the bottom line, this is tax cuts and not tax reform.
Well, that is tax reform.
That's a good point. I think you're right, Amy. I think it is mostly a tax cut. And there will be some reforms, but, you've seen the hullabaloo about closing the state and local deduction. I mean, people from Illinois and New York and I almost got, mobbed, in the streets of Connecticut yesterday when I was there because, oh, my God, we can't possibly survive without this. But I guarantee you it's going to force people in Hartford and Springfield and Albany and these places to start cutting their income taxes and their other taxes. I know, Dan, you laugh at me when I say that, but I still think it's going to put huge pressure on these states, these high-tax states, to lower their taxes if 40% of it isn't subsidized by the federal government.
Another story in terms of economic indicators out yesterday, CNBC reporting that home prices reach a new all-time high in August. Case-Shiller has 6.1% annual gain on the S&P's most broad indicator, Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Of course, that doesn't matter in Illinois either because much like our state and local taxes will swamp any federal tax relief, property taxes here swamp any increase in home value. But what does that say? And particularly, oh, by the way, what is it now, 8 years after the bubble burst and all we've done is grow Fannie and Freddie. Where's this going?
Well, first of all, it's a sign of this. This is now a sizzling, red-hot economy. I mean, there's just no denying it. I mean, we're seeing every single indicator. You'd be hard-pressed, Dan. You search today, find any indicator that isn't positive or very positive on the economy. I mean, consumer confidence is high. We have the unemployment numbers in terms of new jobless claims hit a 40-year low. We've got, 3% plus growth. We've got, every indicator is positive, and that includes housing. Now, my worry is what you just mentioned, Dan. We are doing, ladies and gentlemen, and why the alarms aren't going off in Washington, I have no idea, but we are doing exactly today what we were doing in 2006 to 2007 and 2008, 2005. We are providing 100% taxpayer guarantee on 3 and 4% down payment loans. That is a recipe for repeating the housing meltdown that happened before. We have learned nothing. And why is it? Because of the political power of the housing lobby and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. You want to talk about the revolving door in Washington, the swamp. Anytime somebody retires from Congress or from the White House, the first thing they do is run over and get a multi-million-dollar salary from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. A lot of people are getting rich off of that thing. We should privatize it, shut it down. I'm old-fashioned, Dad. You want to stop another housing crisis? Let's go back to 10, 15, 20% down payment on mortgages. I guarantee people won't default on those mortgages because they got skin in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's well said, and that's why I'm putting all my money in Bitcoin, getting out of my house. Steve Moore.
Keep it in the stock market, folks. If we get this tax cut done, oh, my God, the stock market's going to go through the roof because think about this. Now, instead of the government, if you own stock, now instead of the government taking, 35 or 40% of the gains, now they're only going to take, hopefully 20.
Well, tell all your friends in Congress to get it done already. Then tell Kevin Brady, chop.
24/7. If I didn't have to waste time doing shows like this, I'd be on
Steve Moore, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
And he joined. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Hey, guess what? You can't use the J word. Can't talk about Jesus on The View. Yeah, my good friend Paula Ferris got silenced. Unbelievable. Wait until you hear this. But first, forecast for today, it's going to be unbelievably raw and chilly out there. Damp and moist all day. A high of 48. I hate the word moist.
Damp and Moist was a duet group I was a part of in college. We were a Peaches and Herb cover band.
Rain likely beginning this evening and remaining into the overnight hours. Then tomorrow, it's going to be darn right a little balmy and warm around here. High almost near 60 degrees with a 50% chance of showers. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Peaches and Herbs. See, the Dan and Amy show's never a waste of time. Eden's inbound at Dempster. Crash in the center lane. Delay started Old Orchard. 26 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose. Outbound 35. Kennedy, 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. It's a little quicker in the express. Outbound 50. Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes. 390 to the post office. Outbound 57 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes. 355 to the drive. Outbound 58 minutes. Ryan, 29 minutes. 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound, it's bottled up 21 to 137. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st, and in pockets from the Reagan Tollway to the Adams Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Message and data rates may apply.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away, so you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Text SAVE to 33123 for a free information kit with all the details. That's SAVE to 33123. Again, text SAVE to 33123.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have been on these supplements from Balance of Nature for a couple of years now. And prior to that, I used other supplements. They did nothing for me. This has been absolutely wonderful. I have never felt so good, and I have felt so much better health-wise. My cholesterol's down. All my numbers are down, and it's been great. So I highly recommend Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature. Order today.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Sometimes an apology and a check is all the justice that one can obtain in a world with imperfect remedies. That's not the case with the IRS. The DOJ settled 2 class action lawsuits against the IRS involving nearly 500 unique parties who shared a common complaint. They had been improperly and arguably illegally targeted by the IRS for their religious or political beliefs. Americans who had their constitutionally guaranteed first freedoms violated received an undisclosed financial settlement and a half-hearted apology. The IRS chalked it up to mismanagement rather than what it was, the most powerful non-military agency of the U.S. government attempting to silence Americans with whom those in charge disagreed on religion and politics. Asking for the contents of an organization's daily affirmations, as the IRS did, is not incompetence, it's predation. So how is it that the self-styled champions of the little guy in the D.C. press corps have left this to be one of the most egregiously underreported stories of government abuse in recent memory? Where are the Woodwards and Bernsteins who purport to serve as a check on the powerful and a vanguard of liberty? There's a legal maxim that justice delayed is justice denied. With respect to the IRS abuses, this was justice delayed, denied, and ignored. Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Depression. You need to make it go away. Cure or remission is here. The revolutionary treatment of TMS.
800-604-0208.
TMS therapy is drug-free and non-invasive. Here's how it works. There are areas of the brain that control mood. If you suffer from depression, research has found these areas to be underactive. TMS therapy uses safe, small magnetic fields, similar to those used in an MRI. They stimulate and activate these mood centers, causing long-term, medication-free relief. HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin offer TMS. End the frustration with life and relationships.
It's FDA cleared and it is covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare.
Dangerous drugs and other treatments just mask the depression. Cure or remission. Get a free consultation.
800-604-0208.
HPR centers. Go to endmydepression.com.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from a VA client.
I do have a very close personal friend. Him and his wife were both Army. They did a couple tours. They were denied their VA loan at the 11th hour. They got the carpet pulled from underneath them. So, you hear horror stories like that. With you guys going through the VA process, you guys really did most of the legwork. I mean, just a matter of getting my paperwork in order and making sure you guys had the right documents so that you could push it through, make it happen, and get us the keys to our new home.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financials, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Illinois, mortgage licensee 6629 and NMLS 136639, equal housing lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Before our chat with Steve Moore about tax plan, we were having a little discussion about a new survey. 58% of Americans are afraid to share their political views. Todd from Valpo wanted to weigh in on that. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was walking our kids into the haircut place in Valpo, and there was a demonstration outside to keep illegals here. And some person asked me, what's going on out there? I said, well, there's a demonstration for illegals. And I said, if they're illegal and they're criminals, you got to get rid of them. And I got a lot of dirty looks in there. And my wife's like, you shouldn't say that. I said, hey, it's the truth. I said, I don't care. And I said, you got to stick up for what's right. So that's my take on what happened over there. But I got a lot of bad looks over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the call, Todd. Appreciate that.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll discuss the details of the terrorist attack in Manhattan yesterday with Jeff Adicott, Colonel Jeff Adicott, Director of the Center for Terrorism Law, at 8:08.
And later, why producers from The View think Christianity is a dirty word. But first, let's go into the newsroom to a man who has all of his organs, David Stewart, who's filling in
As
for
far as you know.
Mike Scott. He's filling in for Mike Scott, who's had an emergency appendectomy 2 days ago now.
Yeah, I miss Mike Scott's appendix even more today than I did yesterday.
But not as much as tomorrow. Among the stories we're watching today, no bail for an Elgin man accused of killing his mother and cutting up her body. We'll have that story and more after an update on Fox News from AM 560 The Answer, WIND Chicago. It's 8 o'clock.
He yelled Allahu Akbar and pledged allegiance to ISIS. So when and how did the New York City terror suspect become radicalized? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're going through the social media now, but there has been no evidence thus far of group associations.
Democratic New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says Sayfullo Saipov, he calls him a lone wolf.
He lived here for 3 months, and obviously, I've asked a lot of people here. No one knows him, no one recognizes his face.
That man's in Paterson, New Jersey, where police have raided Saipov's home. Also checking out a mosque the day after a truck plowed through a New York City bike path, killing 8 people, injuring 11 until police shot and wounded Saipov. President Trump's reacted in a bunch of tweets saying political correctness is fine, but not on this. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
The president tweeting this morning the terrorists came into our country through what is called the Diversity Visa Lottery Program, a Chuck Schumer beauty. I want merit-based. He continued, we are fighting hard for merit-based immigration, no more Democrat lottery systems. We must get much tougher and smarter. The Diversity Visa Program run by the State Department offers a lottery for people from countries with few immigrants in America. The program makes up 50,000 immigrant visas available annually to applicants who must prove they have a clean criminal record. Dave?
John, Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer, whom the president took a dig at, has replied in his statement. Instead of politicizing and dividing America, which President Trump always seems to do at times of national tragedy, he should focus on the real solution, anti-terrorism funding. Schumer calls on the president to rescind proposed funding cuts. Tax reform has been delayed a day.
Republicans say they need more time to work out the details of the bill, which they now plan to unveil tomorrow. Lawmakers from big tax states are worried about losing state and local tax deductions.
That's Fox's Rachel Sutherland in Washington. This is Fox News, fair and balanced.
Good morning. It's 37 degrees in Chicago at 8:02 on AM 560 The Answer. I'm David Stewart. Clouds today, an afternoon shower, and a high of 47. Chicago police say there is no known threat to this city after yesterday's terror attack in New York. However, police here have heightening security in crowded areas out of an abundance of caution. A judge denied bail for an Elgin man accused of killing his mother and dumping her dismembered body in a Chicago lagoon. Brian Peck was charged yesterday with murdering Gail Peck, 76 years old. Her remains discovered Saturday in the Lincoln Park Lagoon. Victims' rights advocates accusing State Senator Iris Silverstein of sexual harassment. Denise Rothheimer claims the Chicago Democrat harassed her while they worked together on legislation. Silverstein has apologized, but he denies sexually harassing the woman. President Obama got a laugh yesterday as he welcomed guests to the first ever Obama Foundation Summit.
The reason I'm so excited to see you all here today, in part, is because this is where I started. Now, this isn't where I was born. I was born in Kenya. No, that's a joke.
Among the guests yesterday, Britain's Prince Harry. He discussed the charitable foundation he started with his brother and sister-in-law to promote social change. The two-day conference ends today. A judge will not be assigning a special prosecutor to investigate a deadly Chicago police shooting in 2011. The father of Flint Farmer had requested another probe into his son's death. Flint was unarmed when he was shot and killed by former Chicago police officer Gildardo Sierra. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez says he and some of his colleagues plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump. Gutierrez told the City Club of Chicago yesterday that Trump is unfit to serve. In sports, it was the Dodgers over the Astros 3-1, forcing a Game 7 in the World Series. That's tonight. The NBA has the Bulls at the Miami Heat, and the National Hockey League has the Hawks bringing in the Philadelphia Flyers. The news, the service of LBJ, the movie. This Friday, don't miss director Rob Reiner's new film, LBJ, starring Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson as the bombastic 36th President of the United States. as this Friday in theaters everywhere, rated R. Time now for the AM 560 Business Beats, and from the Fox Business Network, here's your report.
From the Fox Business Network, Clorox is reporting a strong quarter. Clorox makes everything from its namesake cleaning products to Burt's Bees skincare. Clorox is also reporting strong sales of Scentiva disinfectant wipes and sprays. Estee Lauder's sales and earnings for the recent quarter are also stronger than expected. The cosmetics company says its strongest sellers are skincare and makeup. Beer giant Molson Coors says its business was weaker in North America in the summer quarter, but it's stronger in other parts of the world. Chief Executive Mark Hunter says it's been a year since its purchase of Miller Coors, and it's still focusing on building its international business. The Federal Reserve wraps up a two-day meeting today and is not expected to raise interest rates. The Dow is up 28 on Tuesday. NASDAQ also up 28. The S&P gained 2. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
AM 560 News Time 8:05. Traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560. The Answer.
Honey, we need more space. With the new baby on the way and the kids getting older, we need it now. I love this home and I really don't want to move.
As homes age, it makes sense to remodel. It's much more cost-effective than moving. Choosing the right contractor is as important as your kitchen, bath, or addition. I'm Robert Soto, owner of Midland Development Group. Over decades of experience working with homeowners like you, I've excelled at finding the perfect solution for your individual needs, from concept to design all the way to completion of your project. I also share your values and know you demand the best quality, price, and dependability. I hope you'll give us a chance to prove to you that my word is my bond. We're Home Advisor affiliated and look forward to discussing your project.
Contact Robert Soto of Midland Development Group. Call 312-617-7335 or visit MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com. Midland Development Group, where price and quality meet. 312-617-7335 or at MidlandDevelopmentGroup.com.
I'm Jay Farner from Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.875%, APR 4.05%. But choosing the right mortgage lender means choosing more than just a rate. Does calling the company with 11 J.D. Power Awards for client service matter? Does calling the company that invented Rocket Mortgage, the industry's most innovative technology, matter? If working with America's #1 online lender matters to you, call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS number 3030. Hey, yeah, this is Petco. And your dog just called? This is awkward, but he wanted me to let you know we just lowered our prices on dog food and that he prefers something a little healthier.
At Petco, we believe price should never be a barrier to better nutrition. That's why we have new everyday low prices. Visit Petco today to chat with one of our nutrition specialists or go to petco.com to see for yourself.
Also, he said he'd really appreciate it if you would stop doing that weird thing in front of the mirror.
At 8:07 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
David, the Edens inbound is Heavy Lake to Dempster after a crash, then Foster to the junction. 24 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose up on 34. Kennedy, 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 31 from Montrose, 25 on the Express. Outbound at Costner, got a crash in the two right lanes. 50 minutes downtown to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour and 4 minutes, 390 Post Office. 45 minutes from Mannheim, outbound 57 out to 390, which starting at noon will extend from 290 to 83. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound an hour. Ryan from 95th to downtown is 33 minutes. I-57, 36 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 428. Tri-State southbound, gummed up from 21 to 137. Northbound Southwest Highway to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway much of the way to the Adams Tollway. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from Farnsworth, 355. Nevada Memorial from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
We got more of Chicago's Morning Answer next, but now the forecast with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
A breezy day today with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Cloudy with a shower in spots for the afternoon, high 47. Then a shower around until after midnight tonight with a low 44. Tomorrow, a brief shower or two, high 56. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
It's 38 degrees at the lakefront, Midway, and O'Hare. Next news, 8:30 on AM 560, The Answer. I'm David Stewart.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, recapping a story we've been covering all morning, of course, the terrorist attack in Manhattan. A Uzbekistan national in this country since 2010 through the diversity lottery green card program, if you will. Trump tweeting about it this morning saying, I want merit-based, not the diversity-based. He's in this country, rents a truck from Home Depot, takes off on a bike path next to the Hudson River, kills 8, injures 11, yelling Allahu Akbar while mowing people down. Thankfully, he flees on foot. Thankfully, a heroic New York City police officer stops him, shoots him in the abdomen. He's expected to survive, and that's what we know.
And he fled on foot because he ended crashing into a school bus where there are 2 adults on that school bus, 2 children. All 4 of those individuals are still hospitalized this morning. But it's just, he was married in 2013 to a woman from Ohio, had a Tampa, Florida driver's license on him, but recently had been living in Paterson, New Jersey as an Uber driver.
And, of course, then in the wake of that carnage, you get the pro forma statements from the pro forma politicians like New York City Mayor de Blasio.
We know that this action was intended to break our spirit. But we also know New Yorkers are strong, New Yorkers are resilient, and our spirit will never be moved by an act of violence, an act meant to intimidate us. We have been tested before as a city very near the site of today's tragedy, and New Yorkers do not give in the face of these kinds of actions.
No, in fact, arguably from a policy perspective, that's exactly what's happened, is politicians like de Blasio giving in to the terrorists. Chris Cuomo, governor, was on CNN Fox Business this morning with Maria Bartiromo. He had this to say.
We do have to be smart and intelligent about who we let into the country. There's no doubt about that. I think we have to be even smarter with our policing. We have to evolve along with them and gathering intelligence. But at the end of the day, the truth is also this. New York is a target. We have a Statue of Liberty in our harbor who holds a torch that says freedom and democracy, and that is repugnant to a whole group of people who want to knock that torch down. So they are...
Yeah, we want to knock the torch down?
No,
because we want to...
No, the terrorists he's talking about.
I know,
yeah.
but still.
Well, fair enough, but he kind of, yes, we need to be smart about who we let into this country. Okay, well, what specific policy change would you like to see then? If we're going to win and we're not just going to accept this as the new normal, then that means we need to make some changes. Mm-hmm. And law enforcement is a reactive institution, not a proactive institution. Policymakers are supposed to be proactive. Law enforcement largely, I mean, yes, intelligence and so forth, but largely is reactive. And their authority is limited by what civilian political authorities decide. So I'd like to focus on what civilian political authorities are and are not doing with respect to the policy regime under which law enforcement has to operate. And for more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined again by our friend Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Adicott, former JAG officer, now the director of the Center for Terrorism Law. Colonel Adicott, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
So your reaction to the response about we need to, law enforcement needs to be more sophisticated. We need to do more on truck rentals to chasing that. We need to put more bollards up in public spaces to block trucks. Are we treating symptoms and not the underlying policy problem?
Well, you are. I mean, the politicians are doing their rhetoric as usual because they don't want to accept any responsibility. The fact is that under that particular mayor, he has cut back on human intelligence, and that's the best type of intelligence, and that is, getting undercover agents into these areas that are radicalized and gathering information. This act, to us, it's an act of terror, an act of murder. To them, it's an act of worship. I mean, this is motivated by what we call radical Islam, and while it's certainly true that the vast majority of Muslims have nothing to do with this, the Wahhabists, the Salafites, that's where this stuff comes from. Now, not all Wahhabists are going to kill, but that's where they emanate from. So you've got to identify who these people are. You've got to use the word radical Islam and stop this lone wolf stuff. These aren't lone wolves. They're all attached by the same religious ideology of radical Islam. A lone wolf is someone who has no connection to anybody or anything. They're usually a disgruntled employee, and they simply snap. These aren't lone wolves, and we will have other attacks against the homeland by these jihadists.
And that's exactly what Cuomo called him, too, a lone wolf.
Yeah, and that's what you hear the news media, they pick up on that line. Oh, the lone wolf did it. Like this, will never happen again. It doesn't happen. It will happen again. And they're not lone wolves. That's a bastardization of the term to cover up who the enemy is.
Well, the 29-year-old, he's from Uzbekistan, which is a majority Muslim nation. But what do we know? They're not on our watch. They're not on the travel ban list. That country's not. Should it be put on the travel ban, or what? How should we handle this?
Yeah, that's an issue that the president has to decide. Certainly, any country that is Sharia law based, or any country that has a large minority of these jihadists that emanate from these areas, have to have special screening, special scrutiny. But I would certainly get rid of this absurd, lottery, diversity motivated country where if you match a certain country or skin color or whatever it is, we're going to let you in. I want to let people in. I don't care about their skin color. I care about what can you offer this country. That should be the criteria, merit-based, not diversity, political correctness-based.
A lot of discussion since 9/11 from President Bush to Obama to now Trump about safe havens when describing our activities in North Africa, in the Middle East, in Central Asia to disrupt terrorist networks. Do we have a problem with safe havens in this country with sanctuary cities and politicians like de Blasio and other big city mayors who are sort of speaking out of both sides of their mouth?
Yeah, I mean, again, the vast majority of Muslims have nothing to do with this, but we do know there is a profile. And so we have things that we need to look for. And again, that's a larger question where you have states violating federal law. And, that cannot be allowed in our country. I mean, you follow federal law. And to ignore the law is a dangerous thing. We operate by the rule of law. And, of course, we've been ignoring the rule of law about border security for quite some time. And we need politicians that are willing to make laws, and we need the executive branch that's willing to enforce the law.
Why do you think he chose that location? I mean, in Greenwich Village, they had a huge Halloween parade last night. You have the New York City Marathon this Sunday. Why so close to the World Trade Center?
Well, obviously, this has a history, and that particular area, of course, is where many of the 9/11 hijackers would meet and congregated and talk about the plot that they were going to do. It's a large Muslim majority area, and again, the vast majority of Muslims have nothing to do with this, but somebody knows about this guy. He's in New York for 3 months, but New York's always a popular target. Jihadists have tried to attack New York many times since 9/11. Zazi, the car bomb, they just haven't been able to kill people. And so it's a popular target. I mean, New York's always been on the high priority list for the jihadists.
One of the other things I'd just like to get your reaction to is sort of the false moral equivalences that are made, not just, which I shouldn't say moral, magnitude of threat, false magnitude of threat comparisons that are made. Like Peter Beinart writing in The Atlantic today, the attack in Manhattan poses a test for Donald Trump, and the test is, can he resist the temptation to, according to Beinart, to focus on the fact that the terrorist driver of that truck was a radical Islamist and call him as such, and he compares this to Trump being silent when an African American was stabbed in a racially motivated attack in March in New York, and a white supremacist stabbed an African American man in College Park, Maryland, in May, and a murder of an Indian American outside Kansas City, and so forth. He goes on to kind of, he's trying to say the threat posed by white supremacists, people that engage in acts of depravity that have a different racial makeup profile, victim. Why don't they get the same coverage, same response from the president that this will get? And isn't that just like a silly, false order of magnitude comparison?
Well, it's silly because of the fact the number one terror threat is not, does not emanate from those sources. Certainly right-wing extremists, left-wing extremists, which we just mentioned, the left-wing extremists that commit violence, they use terror, and then criminal nut jobs use terror, like in Vegas. We haven't got to the bottom of that yet. But the number one threat by far, in a way, is radical Islam. That's where we call the war on terror, and that is a term that points towards radical Islam. The president can't, talk about every single threat every time a threat pops up. That's absurd. And so you have one person killed here, one person killed there. You have black individuals that kill also white individuals. The president doesn't speak about that every time it occurs.
Right.
It's just a matter of magnitude. The number one threat, and this is not even close, is radical Islam. If you look at all the statistics, the DOJ and who they prosecute and who the FBI investigates, it's radical Islam.
Yeah, well said. He is Colonel Jeff Attica, Director for the Center of Terrorism Law, former Army JAG officer. Colonel Attica, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
They're releasing the names and photos of 5 of those killed. They were from Argentina. They were having their 30-year high school reunion. A great group of guys. One owned a steel company in Argentina, and he paid for the trip for 2 other of his friends who couldn't afford the trip, and they're just out bike riding, and they're all gone. It's so sad. Forecast for today, mostly cloudy, a high near 48 degrees. We'll have rain moving in here early this evening. And then tomorrow it's going to get humid, and 50% chance of showers throughout the day, but warmer, a high near 60. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. The northbound tri-state's very heavy this morning, with delays from 115th to 31st Street, and from the Reagan Tollway most of the way to the Adams Tollway. Southbound, it's slow 120 to 137. Eastbound Adams Tollway, heavy lead to the tri-state. Reagan Tollway delays, Farnsworth 355, and the northbound Veterans Memorial's bottled up. I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 28. Mount Kennedy, delays start at Austin. It's an hour and 4 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 38 minutes from Montrose, 30 in the Express, outbound 46 to the airport. The Eisenhower, an hour, 390 to the post office, outbound 49 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 46 minutes. The Rhine is 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
That 6th victim was from Belgium, visiting for the weekend, and then so there's 2 Americans. I mean, it's just sickening and stupid.
Yeah, well, fascism spares no one other than the fellow fascists.
As flu season approaches, you know how to protect yourself against colds and viruses, but do you know how to protect your computer network? Ransomware, viruses, hacks, intrusions can cripple your company's computer network, stopping business in an instant. Is your network safe and protected? Can your data be restored easily? If not, you need to make an appointment with Turnkey IT. Turnkey IT provides frontline security for your network and its data. So if there's an email attachment, say opened in error or network intruder, Turnkey IT immediately knows and remedies the situation. They'll arm your network with cutting-edge antivirus, disaster recovery, and proactive monitoring software systems to stop virus outbreaks before they have a chance to spread. Over the phone or in person, Turnkey IT is your network safeguard against this season's worst bugs. See what a dose of Turnkey's proactive support can do for you. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's turnkey.pro.
Savings based on 2-year protection plan compared to T-Mobile premium device protection as of July 12, 2017. Square Trade does not cover loss or stolen items. Terms and conditions apply.
Getting a new phone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So, protecting your phone is a smart idea. But phone insurance through your wireless carrier can cost as much as $15 every month. Switch to SquareTrade phone protection instead, for half the cost of insurance through your wireless carrier. And you could save $200 or more. It's like protecting two phones for the price of one. SquareTrade covers accidents like drops and spills with easy same-day repair options. Part of the Allstate family, we're trusted by over 30 million customers with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. How else can you save $200 in 10 minutes? So don't wait. Switch today.
Switch to SquareTrade now and you can save over $200. Visit squaretrade.com. That's squaretrade.com.
Gentlemen, it's No Shave Movember. Time to change the face of your health for the better. Take the first step and get your levels checked by someone you can trust. I personally recommend my friends at Low T Center. That's where I got my levels tested. Their service was fantastic. Their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men for low testosterone levels. At Low T Center, they know we hate going to the doctor. That's why they make it quick and easy. With their on-site lab, you get your results back in about 20 minutes. Most health insurance accepted. This Movember, Low T is offering a testosterone and prostate level test with an assessment for just $50. Guys, take the first step. Contact my friends at Low T Center now. Now they have this location in downtown Chicago on the Mag Mile at 625 North Michigan Avenue. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Proft sent you, 312-239-3427. Call now, 312-239-3427, or visit them online at lowtcenter.com.
Worry less with Liberty Mutual Insurance.
So your son got home safe last night? Tom said he had a flat tire.
Yeah, he was out past curfew and got stuck on Route 1, but Liberty Mutual went out and took care of it for him.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, a flat, jump, or tow. It's no problem no matter where or when with their roadside assistance.
What was he doing out so late anyway?
Getting himself grounded for a month.
Visit us online to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional 24-hour roadside assistance coverage. Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Spearphishing has or will strike your business, wreaking havoc on your employees, brand, and your bottom line. Spearphishing can't be stopped by traditional email security solutions because messages appear to be legitimate from your boss, a trusted colleague, or a vendor asking you to wire money, confirm login credentials, or worse. Barracuda Sentinel is artificial intelligence for real-time spearphishing and cyber fraud defense. Reclaim your email in minutes with zero impact on network performance. Visit barracuda.com/AI.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time, and I can't even thank you enough.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
The same banking team you already know and trust at the private bank has come together with one of the strongest banks in North America. And we have a new name. The private bank is now CIBC. We share the same focus on building strong client relationships, and we're now backed by a bank with over 150 years of experience in putting clients first. Our name may have changed, but our commitment to helping your business grow is now stronger than ever. Visit us at CIBC.com/US. Member FDIC.
There's nothing like it. The smell of a tailgate, the chill in the air, the roar of the crowd. The only thing better than game day with your favorite team is when it all ends with a win. Touchdown NIU. Hear it all right here on the Husky Sports Network.
Don't miss your NIU Huskies versus the Toledo Rockets this Thursday night at 5 p.m. Be here for NIU football on AM 560, The Answer. AM 560, The Answer.
All right, so I watched The View yesterday because I know how you like to take off Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Thursday and Friday you're good to watch it. But my friend Paula Ferris, she was talking about, being raised in a strict Christian home and what her parents would allow to be said and not be allowed to say. But they beeped some words. Are you ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Hey, you ready for this? Okay, here we go.
You know, my parents were really strict about what we said in the home. Like, we couldn't say, oh, my God. We couldn't say JC. We couldn't say G. My son, you know, I know.
Yeah,
we could say G's.
You could say G's, but not sus.
Yes,
Yeah.
unless you were praising him. And then you could say.
They bleeped it out.
She,
twice.
You could. She was just saying Jesus, not Jesus Christ, like not in
No,
a profane
Jesus.
way.
And then she said, unless you were praising him, and then you could say Jesus. And they bleeped it out. So they bleeped out Jesus twice. I mean, that's proof that Christianity's a dirty word to those, you know, on the left who don't have God in their life.
Maybe
I mean,
they
that
should-
is ridiculous.
Should have gone with Jesus, maybe. Well, this is not isolated, and it shouldn't come as a surprise. And this is where you may want to pay attention. Peyton and Eli cross off Kent State. Kent State is debating whether or not the Campus Ministry International student organization can post signs that say "You need Jesus." They're debating whether or not that qualifies as hate speech. Hate speech on the campus of Kent State. And now you get the censors of The View that melt at the invocation of the Almighty. 21st century America.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Speaking of a word we can't say, Brian Kilmeade, co-host of Fox and Friends, of course, is the author of a new book about a former president who was nicknamed Old Hickory, who was the hero of the Battle of New Orleans, and who the Democrat Party has now renounced and renamed their dinners that used to be named after him. We'll see if Kilmeade can bring himself to name that president at 8:38.
Quite a tease. And later there's a big problem going on at Cook County Jail. Dan's going to explain that one. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning to Dave Stewart, who's filling in for Mike Scott.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. 38 degrees in Chicago, 8:31 now on AM 560, The Answer. Clouds and afternoon shower, chilly today, high only 46. Police have reportedly searched the Patterson, New Jersey apartment of the man being held in the deadly terror attack in Lower Manhattan that left 8 dead and at least 11 injured. Neighbors say the man and his wife typically kept to themselves and say they don't want people to judge the whole community because of one bad apple.
I honestly wouldn't know what to say because of how shocked I am.
We're not like harmful or anything like that, so I don't know what he's been through or what he went through, but you know, we all should be like peaceful.
The building's owner confirms that Sayfulo Sapov lived with his wife and 2 young children in that 2-bedroom apartment for a few months. He is hospitalized after being shot by police. President Trump's opioid commission will deliver its final report today on the drug epidemic. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie heads that commission. It's been researching the deadly health crisis since March. Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez says he and some of his colleagues do plan to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump.
I do not believe that the President of the United States should be President of the United States of America, not because he's Republican, but because he's ill-fit for the office of the presidency of the United States of America.
Gutierrez spoke at the City Club of Chicago. 2 people dead after a crash involving a taxi cab early this morning on the near north side. Police say a vehicle traveling on Dearborn ran a red light and hit a cab at Oak Street. Both of those drivers were killed. A Chicago man is accused of shooting someone during a robbery at Lowry's downtown steakhouse where he used to work. Marcus Norwood faces multiple charges, including attempted murder and robbery. Actor Jeremy Piven, who grew up in Evanston, is categorically denying sexual harassment allegations leveled by reality star Ariane Bellamar. Bellamar tweeted that the Entourage actor cornered and groped her once in his on-set trailer and once at the L.A. Playboy Mansion. In sports, it's the Dodgers forcing a Game 7 in the World Series, coming from behind to beat the Astros 3-1. In basketball, the Bulls are at the Miami Heat. In hockey, the Hawks host the Philadelphia Flyers. News and service of Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico's been saving people money on car insurance for more than 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money. AM 560 News Time, 8:33. A check of traffic in 2 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Mike Gallagher believes there are some issues we should all agree on.
Am I wrong to react to the Harvey Weinstein scandal by observing that not everything has to be left versus right? there is this paradigm now where everything that occurs becomes left versus right.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The private bank is now CIBC. Their name may have changed, but their commitment to your business is now stronger than ever. Visit CIBC.com/US, member FDIC.
When you purchase an alarm system, you do it for one reason above all others. You need to know something about the people or property under your care. Knowing that what matters most will be looked after by professionals when you can't be there is a comforting feeling. At Alarm Detection Systems, we've learned a great deal from our decades of service. We know how to treat customers on the phone. We know that installing quality security products using certified technicians is the only way to go. We know that same-day service and local monitoring will provide the safety and peace of mind you're looking for. You no longer have to wonder if your home or business is protected by your alarm system. Know that it is. At home or on the go, the information you seek is right in your hands. It's good to be in the know. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's 630-844-6300 or online at adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
At 8:35 from the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, David. Eden's inbound. It's 21 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 28. Inbound Kennedy, bottled up Austin to the Burn Circle. An hour and 4 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 38 minutes from Montrose. 30 in the Express. Outbound 46 to the airport. Eisenhower's an hour. 390 to the post office. Outbound 49 minutes. Stevenson an hour and 6 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 46 minutes. Ryan 33 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57 36 minutes. I-80 to the Verge. Issue 428. Southbound Lakeshore Drive delays are from Lawrence to North Avenue, northbound from 31st to Jackson. Southbound Tri-State slow 120 to 137, northbound 111th to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, the Bensonville Bridge, the Adams Tollway. Adams Tollway sluggish lead to the Tri-State. The Veterans Memorial delays are from I-55 most of the way to St. Charles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
More of Chicago's Morning Answer coming next, but now that forecast. Cloudy, breezy, chilly today. Maybe a shower this afternoon, high of 47. Mostly cloudy, a shower till after midnight, low 44 tonight. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and milder, a brief shower still possible, but milder, a high of 56. Right now, 38 degrees at O'Hare. Next news, 9 o'clock. Now more of Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The
This
Answer.
hourly segment is brought to you by the Alpha Wealth Group, bringing the trilogy of estate, tax, and investment planning together. Visit alphawealthgroup.com for a free report.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and, well, you know our next guest, co-host of Fox and Friends, longtime co-host, big sports fan. He's written books on sports, and now he's got a book. I'm not allowed, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name.
Why?
And I don't know if Brian Kilmeade is allowed to write this book and market it because Old Hickory, I'll just go by that. He has been expunged from history by the Democrat Party. For his alleged treatment of Native Americans. So I don't know what to do about this. You know, I want to comport with the zeitgeist. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Brian Kilmeade, author of the new book, Old Hickory and the Miracle of New Orleans, or, dare I say, Andrew Jackson and the Miracle of New Orleans. Of course, President Jackson, the hero at the Battle of New Orleans. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, there is a war in history. Andrew Jackson's part of it, I guess, but not all of it. I mean, we're witnessing now. John Kelly, does he really know what happened in the Civil War, really? A 70-year-old Marine, four-star Marine general.
Right.
You know, and then we're talking about Andrew Jackson. I never said he was perfect. You never said he was perfect, but he was the founder of the Democratic Party. He was the first everyman to get elected. He was the first man to go around and campaign and get the people involved. He was the first people's president who went in to take on Virginia and Massachusetts, which now we call the Swamp in Washington. So if the Democratic Party doesn't want their founder as part of their history, they can go at it. I mean, but Ronald Reagan, Harry Truman, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln, pretty good presidents, all said he was the person they tried to emulate their presidency after. He was also the last one to balance the budget and wipe out the debt. The last president. So, yeah, was he perfect? No, he was a person of his times. And, man, there's a reason why he stood out.
Was the impetus to write this book in part because of the comparison to the current President Trump, in terms of, as you're talking about kind of a populist president who took the swamp by storm?
No, it's just fortuitous in that when I started writing the book 2 years ago, he wasn't even thinking of it. I don't even think no one took him serious that he was running for president. I kind of always thought he was, but I had nothing to do with it. In fact, I could not believe the similarities. You would think a businessman and, an orphan at 13, meager means, ends up a very rich guy and a two-term president. I didn't think there'd be any similarities, but there's a ton. Number one, they were both obsessed with the media. They used to rip out newspapers and make comments on them and make sure to contact the reporter to tell them how wrong they were. They were both, they were both vilified by the establishment, both not taken seriously when they first declared. Even when he begged to get into the war and fight and get revenge on the British for killing his family, they wouldn't even they said, "Yeah, we'll get back to you. We have some generals in mind." And when they all failed and they had nowhere else to go, then they went to him. So there's a bunch of similarities. He knew it. I talked to the president about it. But, the president, some of his comments will be on the TV special that we have, Andrew Jackson, Hero Under Fire.
Okay. Well, tell us about the miracle of New Orleans.
I mean, it's really hard to argue that this wasn't a great American story in that, the War of 1812 starts. We declare it. We really had no choice, but we're not ready. We have no real strong army. Our Navy's strong but not big enough. And we take on the world's number one economic and military power in the British. And they are more than happy to offer us some revenge. We sent our troops up north to fight the British in Canada, leaving us totally naked, and our coastal cities were all terrorized by the British and left unprotected. And it was a rout. And the ultimate was when they burned Washington to the ground, and our president barely escaped with his life. You got to think about it. Our country was almost ruined. But little by little, we always do. We correct, we adjust. And in Baltimore, we stood tall and forced the British out. Fort McHenry stood, the national anthem written. But then Major General Andrew Jackson gets involved, and he starts reeling off victories. But he knows the ultimate battle is going to be the Mississippi and New Orleans. So he rallies his men, goes on foot, obviously, goes all the way over from Mobile to New Orleans, and waits and puts together an army of 3,000, just over 3,000, outnumbered 2-1. The British land, and they fight. And as I chronicle in the book, somehow Jackson not only wins, but Jackson's troops wipe out the British in under 45 minutes.
Speaking of the book, I got to ask you about this back and forth between you and Jimmy Kimmel over apparently a book blurb. He took a shot at you on his show. You, I thought, responded quite graciously on Fox and Friends. Did you ever hear a response back from Jimmy Kimmel to your response?
Nope. No, I've never heard anything, but I expect, the weird thing is we have separate hours, Dan, so I'll never know what he does about what I said until the next day.
Right.
So I heard about that when I got up, and they're like, listen, this Jimmy Kimmel went after you last night. I watched it, and, it's really, if that happens face-to-face with somebody, you have no choice, but you end up in a physical fight with them because they called out you personally. I'm a fan of his even before anyone even liked him. I knew him when he was on Fox Sports personally. And then when he goes in his own show and no one was watching, I thought he was really good. And I used to pitch my assignment editor to go do stories on him when we used to do American Idol. So I used to go over there, and he'd bring us behind the scenes. He was great. And the reason why I called his agent is because the agent is who I knew. ABC Media Relations wanted nothing to do with Fox. So his agent used to get me the interviews, like I got Jon Stewart for that book, too. They have the same agent, and Adam Carolla since.
Mm-hmm.
And then to see him reverse it and say, well, I begged and I followed him around. No, we did a walk around of his studio. I begged. No, I wanted an interview with a guy at the time that was failing at late night, and I thought he was great. And we got along. He did not like the read I had to an interview off the soundbite he used, ripping a health care plan, which he found out was Chuck Schumer's head. This is not Jimmy Kimmel being the conscience of America. He's going ahead with Chuck Schumer's talking points.
Right.
And that was my point. I'm like, you're just say I'm a Democrat and I want the Obamacare to stand. Well, a lot of people hate Obamacare and are suffering under it. Did you go to bat for them? Did you go to bat for them when they lost their health care plan and their doctor and they were promised they couldn't? Did you go to bat for all those those thousands of military people that lost their lives in Iraq and have our previous president pull out, making that all seem they fought for no reason at all? I mean, where was the outrage if he was really the conscience of America, like New Yorker magazine says he is? You would have had equal opportunity detractor.
Well, I have to tell you,
approach that.
You did an amazing job handling that situation. You were calm, cool-headed, and you made him look like a fool just by telling the truth.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just commending you for that. That was great.
Thank you.
Always enjoy the show.
I appreciate it.
Always enjoy Fox and Friends, even though we're kind of on similarly, but we've always got it on.
We can't hear you, but we see you.
We've got it on. And, of course, looking forward to getting a chance to read the book, Andrew Jackson and the Miracle of New Orleans. Brian Kilmeade, co-host of Fox and Friends' new book. Brian, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Dan and Amy, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Did you know 40% of all cancer could be prevented? That's a fact. Along with maintaining appropriate body weight and regular exercise, the American Institute for Cancer Research and the USDA confirm that eating 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables every day is the key. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? How many servings of fruits and vegetables did I eat today? Balance of Nature has solved this problem and provides an easy and affordable way to consume over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables every day.
Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Call now, 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Podcast for Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics, which airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes, the Illinois Opportunity Project, my 60 seconds of sanity commentaries, long-form interviews with policymakers and opinion leaders in our Against the Current interview series. Follow the Logic Man on the Street interviews, our new series, Heart of the Matter, featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and their impacts on families and household budgets. And our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, free property tax report on your home, as well as a petition you can download to help us circulate, get signatures to get an advisory ballot question on the 2018 ballot, which would encourage policymakers to adopt the Indiana property tax system and reduce your property taxes and return your home equity exponentially. You can find all the property tax info at defendhomeowners.com and everything else at upstream-ideas.com.
Shoot Point Blank is now open in Naperville, a safe and comfortable shooting range and gun shop. Shoot Point Blank features climate-controlled shooting lanes, retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Shop top brands including Glock, Ruger, or Smith & Wesson. Experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
Great range, great service, great staff.
Now open at the corner of North Aurora and Frontenac in Naperville. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's the reason so many people are talking about their Point Blank experience.
Brett was very friendly, and he answered all my questions. And because I'm new to pistols, I'm really grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. Who would win a 3-mile bicycle race, an 11-year-old girl or last year's winner of the Tour de France? It all depends on the bicycle. It depends on their vehicle. Both on a 10-speed and the pro racer is going to win every time. But put the racer on a tricycle and the 11-year-old wins every time. You see, it's not the driver, it's the vehicle. When it comes to generating revenue, it's exactly the same. If you have a job or a small business, you are riding a tricycle. You can only go so fast. If you need to make up lost ground, it's not going to happen on a tricycle. No matter how fast you pedal, it's simply not going to win the race. Why do many people with no schooling and no advanced degree often become very wealthy? Simple. They choose to only ride 10 speeds. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss when it comes to putting people on a 10-speed. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, get some reactions to our Kill Meat interview when we take our friend Lee from Hammond, Indiana. Lee, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi, guys. I think the reason that the left is actually down on Jackson is because of his stand against a central bank, a corruptible central bank.
I don't...
There was like multiple attempts made on his life versus their darling Hamilton, who actually wanted a central bank.
I think the left's effort to expunge Andrew Jackson from the history books is a lot to do with the Indian Removal Act, don't you? And talking about, essentially what they would argue is seizing Indian lands.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I think there's bigger things at play here, and I think that the whole left is actually being run by this globalist central. The idea of the IMF, the European influence of, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty was an example of that. It's all central control, and the central bank was the actual genesis of that kind of idea.
All right, thanks for the call, Lee. Appreciate it. On to issues of local importance.
Yes.
I mean, we talk a lot about, the kind of workplace environment people have. You want a friendly workplace environment.
Of course I do.
And I'll tell you what, you think...
I dream of one.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I love this work environment.
Yeah.
There's so many women I can talk to. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
You can talk...
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Well, you can talk to Mike Scott's appendix. That's out. That's come out. So...
I saw it in the parking lot. I think I might have ran over it this morning.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you. You think you have a tough work environment? Okay. Or you're going to find out how good you got it. You want to be a Cook County public defender? Go to law school, take the bar, pass the bar, become a Cook County public defender?
My friend was one for a short while and then decided to stay at home with the kids.
Maybe this was the reason she decided that wasn't for her. Reporting on the topic, ABC7. Masturbating inmates have become a common sight on the walk to and from holding cells, where defense attorneys meet clients and at the jail and in courthouse lockups. Last week, in a letter to Judge Timothy Evans, Chief Judge, Public Defender Amy Campanelli said her staff had reached a breaking point. There have always been these incidents since I became a public defender, but it's never been like today where it's the behavior we're seeing now every day or every other day. It's just pervasive. We've tried everything.
What is it?
We've tried everything to stop the public masturbation of inmates, and we can't seem to crack the code. That music won't help.
How about locking up the panties?
I'm just
chastity
referencing
belts
Counselor Campanelli. Male detainees constantly expose themselves and masturbate while in the lockup behind the courtrooms. So who's got it worse, Cook County public defenders or Cook County janitors? This is something...
We got to clean up on aisle 3.
Tom Dart has a masturbation czar. Her name is Kara Smith. This is something that happens in custodial environments, period. It's not unique to Cook County.
Okay.
I don't know that there's a silver bullet answer. Boy, I wouldn't have used that choice of words. We're willing to do anything that protects our staff. I wouldn't have used that word.
I wouldn't use that word either.
And the rest of the criminal justice system.
It's a sticky situation.
Yeah,
is that what you said?
Talking about face guards, rubber suits. They're throwing around some ideas.
Well, if you spit or if some excrement is ever tossed at a prison guard, that's an automatic 7 years on your sentence. I know that.
It's interesting. You're a noted penologist.
Yes.
Maybe you could help with this matter. All right. Not enough money in the world to become a Cook County public defender. You know who would be a good Cook County public defender? Or actually, no, he's not qualified.
Governor Quinn?
Well, yes. He's not qualified for that either. But even though he has a law degree, I think.
Yes.
You know who would be a good janitor because he's not qualified to be a Cook County public defender? Somebody with experience in the space.
What? Who?
The human stain.
Oh.
Harvey Weinstein. This is how he can do his
Maybe we need more potted plants behind the courtroom.
It's a good idea. Potted plants, spittoons.
Oh, I saw somebody as Harvey Weinstein last night for Halloween, and they were walking around with a potted plant.
Yes.
And a bathrobe, but he kind of looked like Harvey Weinstein.
Did he keep the wedding tackle in? I hope. The other thing you could do is, I go back again, see if there's application, the life imitating art.
Yeah.
Naked Gun movies, the anti-graffiti wall, where if you sprayed graffiti on the wall, it would spray you back.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe something like that in lockup.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Message and data rates may apply.
Sick of hair loss, thinning hair, bald spots? Ever thought about hair restoration? It's a life-changing decision. Thankfully, the first step is incredibly easy and absolutely free because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, is giving away an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable their permanent solution to hair loss really is. Get yours by texting WOW to 85850. You'll see for free just how great your hair could look. Plus, we'll also give you a free gift card when you text WOW to 85850. Join the men and women all over the country who have come to Bosley, the world's most experienced hair restoration expert, for their permanent solution to hair loss. If you've ever thought about getting your hair back, don't miss this incredible offer. We're giving away an invaluable information kit absolutely free, plus a gift card for $250 off to everyone who texts WOW to 85850. That's WOW to 85850.
Tasty Catering invites you to come together this holiday season and celebrate with great food and great company.
Since 1989, Tasty Catering has been planning memorable holiday office parties all over Chicagoland and bringing your team together this year in the spirit of the season.
Their delicious holiday menu at tastycatering.com features all the amazing appetizers and entrees, savory side dishes, and decadent desserts that you'll need for the ideal holiday office party.
From elegant plated dinners to casual company buffets and festive cocktail hours.
Stop by their Elk Grove Village Kitchen and meet their award-winning catering family and sample some of their new and classic holiday menu dishes.
The experienced holiday events team is ready to take you step by step through the planning process, simply and stress-free.
Don't delay. Call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 or view the holiday menu online at tastycatering.com.
That's 847-593-2000. tastycatering.com. Holidays. Gather, eat, and enjoy together.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your big, bulky CPAP device with you whenever you leave home? Yeah, well, I was too. That's why I'm so glad I called to try the Transcend Mini CPAP for 10 nights. I can't imagine living without it now. My Transcend is smaller than a soda can and weighs less than a pound. That's less hassle to carry than my shaving kit. Plus, I was able to add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. But hey, that's not all. Transcend is FAA compliant, too, which means I can finally sleep comfortably while flying. Heck, I can sleep comfortably anywhere now. So if that all sounds good to you, call now to give Transcend a try. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the life-changing freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. To receive your risk-free 10-night trial, call now. 1-800-400-8168. Again, that's 1-800-400-8168. 1-800-400-8168.
AM 560, The Answer.
We got a text from 708 summarizing the last story we did. Cook County officials can't get a beat on inmate masturbation.
Oh.
I don't get it. All right, we got to reprise this from yesterday.
What?
I feel like we feel like
think-
it cut it a little bit short.
Yeah, we didn't give it enough attention. It was about
This New York County official, I guess like a county board member, named she's the Berkey girl. You got the Jerky Boys, you got the Berkey girl, Jennifer Schwartz Berkey. She was pulled over for going 43 and a 40.
No, 43 and a 30.
43 and a 30. 43 and a 30.
Yes, please get
Yeah,
it right.
exactly.
Don't just get it on. And she was upset, but she took it to a whole new level. She dropped the mom card first, and then all of a sudden she had to pick her son up, and then she had to meet a curator of a museum, and she couldn't keep her story straight, and then she lost it.
Yeah,
and when she lost it, my girl lost it.
Well, you start with the waterworks. I mean, this is a lesson for you motorists out there. You start with the waterworks. You mentioned the kid, single mom. I work 24 hours a day. I'm underpaid. I'm trying to get a better job.
It's that time of the month.
I only make $20,000. She was driving a Prius. $20,000. And
it was a used phrase.
I'm a dedicated public servant. You use that even if you aren't. It doesn't matter. Use it. And ultimately, you work up to the panic attack.
Sorry, I'm having a panic attack. I have PTSD.
And she's screaming. I mean, it sounds like somebody's touching her, and their officer isn't anywhere near her, but she's like,
PTSD. That heavy breathing. I thought maybe. Yeah, it was like Dow.
Yeah, but he was being physically abused. This woman was just all of a sudden like,
It was somewhere between David Dow and a masturbating Cook County inmate.
Thank you so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Quinn